Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter and I'll be your host this evening. I want to thank you for coming in and watching the Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If this is your first time watching it, or if you're watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member or if you're not logged into Stunthangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunthangar will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in but just enjoy watching this on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. Please enter your questions or comments in the chat box over here, and I'll do my best to make your comments or questions part of the show. Now, understand, sometimes I can't get a word in myself, so be patient, and I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comments. And by the way, you only can do this during a live stream. So like I said, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, if you find the Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host, or the many building videos that Sparky does on this platform, I mean, I'm talking about the Saturday at John shows that he does, the contest coverage, and all these things that he does on the show. If you find them enjoyable and informative, please hit the thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Please consider subscribing, and when you subscribe, make sure that you hit the notification bell and select all so that whether myself or Sparky's on, you'll be notified. Please consider joining Stunthangar's YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. I mean, it's the equivalent of going to Starbucks and getting one of those cup of coffees. That's all we ask, just that. And there's tiers above that as well if you want to be more generous. Now, I want you to know that I'm also a member myself. I have the $4.99 come out of my own checking account. And so this is something I'm doing. I'm not asking you to do something I'm not doing myself. Okay. Now, if you don't want to do the subscription, which is the $4.99 a month, you can do the super chat, which is located over here, right below the chat box. It's a big $sign, and you can donate any amount you like. The only caveat is you have to do that during a live stream. Okay, it's not available on the replay. So I do this every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So come on in, make a donation, and if it's not convenient for you to watch the whole show, then come back and watch the replays. We have many people that watch the replays piece by piece. They don't watch the whole thing at one time. Now, your support helps offset some of the expenses of running Stunthangar, and with your support, as a member, you'll get special badges that Sparky and I can see who are our supporting patrons. And also you have access to these member-only videos. And once a month, Sparky has a question and answer show for just members only. Now, this is Sparky's YouTube channel. I actually have my own YouTube channel, excuse me. And it's called Flying Control Line Stunt. That's Flying Control Line Stunt. And if you go there and locate the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which is a video that Sparky shot with his video camera of me flying his Junar XL. And if you go there and leave a comment or question, I will be able to respond to you quickly because I'll be notified. I don't get notified. This is on Sparky's channel. So go there if you have any comments or questions for me, and I will answer them as quickly as I possibly can. Now, I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family, room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't say or do around your own children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm now going to post a link at the Stunthangar forum. So I'm heading there right now, and let's see, it's posted. So that's how you get into the show, is through the stunthangar.com forum, and there be you locate the At the Bench thread, and underneath that you will find a link with today's date. I just posted it right there, and that's how you get into the show. And let me do one other thing here. Let me send this, and let me go to the what I call the control panel, and I will check out and see how things are going there. Hopefully this is streaming, and I see that we are streaming. Let me go to the control panel, and let's go there now. And I hope everybody had a good weekend and are safe and all that. And let's see here how this is working out here. Just bear with me, and I get this house cleaning taken care of. Let's check this out. All right, so I can see now we have 15 concurrent viewers. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we have 7 likes. So those of you who have not hit the like button, please smash that like button. That really helps the analytics of the show. Doesn't cost you a penny. And even subscribing to the show, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to this channel. That also helps. And then consider joining the our YouTube memberships, starting at just $4.99. So hey, looks like we have just a second, sir. I'll be right with you. Let me get this thing going, and we'll be cooking with gas. Let's see. All right. So Ed Wask, is that right?
Waski.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Doing great, Charles.
Great. Well,
finally joining the group. Been watching a lot of it. Really enjoy it. Have a few things to say later on, and wanted to, make sure I could do this right. So I wanted to check in early.
I really appreciate that. You keep me from having to do a song and dance or dog and pony show or something. So I really appreciate that. So thank you for coming in, Ed. And so Ed, do you fly a control line or RC or both, or what do you do?
I fly all of it. Radio control line, free flight, rockets, and mainly something I wanted to bring up is mainly because I do a youth education expo here in West Virginia.
Oh, fantastic.
So we get kids together, and it's all off of donations, and we show them how to free flight. Mark Weiss helps out with the control line portion of it, plus other control line guys from other states come in, radio control, indoor, outdoor. It's amazing the support we get from the community.
And fantastic. That's great. I try to, when I approach organizations, I try to tell them, a lot of our military pilots come from model aviation, even our astronauts. It really makes a big difference.
It's some stuff that I have all prepared for later on, but sure. Exactly what you said is I have information on all of that you said that for parents to read. And last year was our second year, and we did almost 600 kids over a Friday, Saturday.
Very good. Awesome. Yeah. That is great.
And poor Mark Weiss spun so many circles around with the kids. It's just amazing the support that you guys get.
That is really physically hard to do. I've taught a couple people to fly, and I can't imagine being out there all day and do like 600. I just can't even imagine that. And I've heard of other people doing things like that. And it's just amazing. Especially when they're little, you're leaning over them and it's not easy. It's physically demanding.
And the whole idea is giving back to the community. And there's quite a bit going on in our area. Our little airport here has right at about 1,400 aviation jobs.
Wow.
Yeah. And when I started my company, everybody thought, well, you're just working on rich people's jets. You know, what do you need help for? They did an economic impact study, and it turned out that our aviation at our airport contributed $1.1 billion to the state economy.
Wow.
So now everybody is saying, what can we do to help you? And this started about 8 years ago.
Very good. Well, I'm looking forward to what you have to say. I will give me an opportunity to do that later when we get more people in.
Yeah.
Let me welcome Barry. Hey, Barry, thank you for coming in again. I appreciate it.
Hi, Joel.
And how are you doing?
I'm doing well. A little sleepy tonight, but I'm doing well.
Well, I had some coffee before I came in too, so I have to do that myself. And I snack on popcorn. You know, I had one person in the chat box was wondering what I was eating. I guess I had too low; they couldn't see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I snack on popcorn, and it also keeps me from talking a lot. You know, so that's why I do that, so that I basically don't. I just pretty much just control the show, but not necessarily talking very much. So
Gotcha.
Well, thank you for coming in. And let me catch up on the chat box. We have Jack Snavely. He says, hi, y'all. And he gave us a thumbs up. And I'm assuming he means he gave us a like. I hope he did. And then he has 3 airplane stickers. And then Gary Sinclair. Oh, by the way, Jack Snavely is also a member. He's one of our supporting patrons of our channel. He actually has at least a minimum $4.99 coming out a month. There's some guys that are having $15 a month coming out of their account to support us. So I want to recognize these people who support us, and Jack Snavely is one of them. And then Gary Sinclair is also, he's a supporting patron of our channel. Thank you, Gary, so much. And he's also a monitor. He has that blue wrench. So he has some authority to take people out if they misbehave. And thank you very much. And he says like provided. So thank you, Gary. I'm sure he'll be in later on. And then the T-Bone 1260, he said liked, and I assume he gave us a like. And thank you, thank you, T-Bone. I'm thinking your name, Tom Luciano. Thank you, Tom, for coming in. And I'm looking forward, Tom, by the way, to receiving that flight streak. I'm making arrangements just in case I can't get to VSC that for someone else to pick it up for me. And I don't know if you know John Wright. John Wright out in Long Beach, California. He's going to VSC. So we talked about that earlier. So hopefully that is the case. And welcome, Lynn Burrell. How you doing, Lynn?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Doing good.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Great.
Oh, there's that stupid picture. Okay, beautiful. You make that go away in a hurry.
Oh, that's okay. I hate when I see when you do that, but I understand you don't want to have that. It's
that's
so
all
distracting.
That's
well, hopefully you get around to uninstalling that.
Yeah, I know. I've been busy. I haven't had time, so we'll get it done.
I understand. I don't mean that to bug you. I totally understand.
Life gets crazy. Today I drove for 12 hours basically and back, and had to go away for the day and come back, and just busy.
Wow.
Busy.
Oh yeah. That's
family stuff, you know.
I totally understand that. I have 3 teenagers here, so I'm and a wife that I take care of.
Yeah, so you're busy too.
I'm her caregiver, and so so please, people, just in general, be patient with me because I do have a lot on my plate too. But let me welcome Gary. Thank you, Gary, for coming in, and thank you for the like, and thank you for being in the chat box, and thank you for you being the monitor and helping me take care of the stuff out there. So I appreciate it, Gary. And then welcome Brad LaPointe. How you doing, Brad?
I'm doing well, thank you, Charles.
Good to hear that. And then it looks like Mark Wise is coming in and Jonathan Carradas is coming in. Man, you know, Mondays are on par with any Friday. I'm getting more and more convinced of that. There is just no time off. Let me welcome Mark Wise. Hey, Mark, how you doing?
Hi, Charles. I'm doing good, thank you.
Good to see you. And Jonathan Carradas, how you doing, John?
Whoa.
All right, good, thanks, Charles. How are you guys?
Doing well. Doing
well.
very well. Very well.
I believe
So-
you've got a lot of snow going on all over the US at the moment.
Yes, where I live, I haven't seen any snow. So I'm kind of fortunate. I haven't been didn't have to worry about the fires. I haven't had any earthquakes.
No snow.
No snow. My flying field, I haven't seen it since I guess it's been almost a week and a half because I think it rained last Friday, so I didn't fly. But I'm looking forward to flying this Friday. Should be raining for maybe a couple more days. It's going to rain tonight, and then hopefully I'll be able to fly some more. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I've been fortunate. Been very, very fortunate.
Oh, great. What
Very
part
good.
of the US are you in, Charles?
I live in what's called Escondido, which is a little bit north of San Diego.
Okay.
San Diego is a pretty big county. I mean, so I can actually get to the San Diego County in less than 10 minutes, but to really get into San Diego, it takes a good 30-minute drive or less. It all depends on how far you want to get into San Diego, but San Diego really isn't that far from me as far as the county marker, but San Diego is a big county.
Yeah.
And
Because you
so-
guys have a huge extreme of geology to fly in, excuse me, from high altitude and quite cold right down to sort of fairly steamy and tropical down in Florida and places like that. So I guess you have to do a lot of retuning when you cart your aircraft around.
Yeah, depending upon where you go. Yeah, the trim, and I know that I fly at around 700 feet above sea level. So depending upon where I go, I have to make adjustments for that. Like
Yeah.
Las Vegas is like 2,500 feet above sea level. And so it really exacerbated how my plane really wasn't in trim. And when I flew at that contest last November, the plane was getting loose in places I wasn't accustomed to, but it's a learning lesson. And then going to Arizona, it's different. I got to put in less fuel because of a similar thing. They're different altitude, different, but it's all good. It's not, it could be worse.
Yes,
It could be worse.
yes.
Let me,
Yes, well, you could be getting cyclones every 5 minutes. There's another one coming. Apparently, there's one up by Fiji now, brewing up, and they're hoping it's going to go around us. Well, we're hoping it's going to go around us this time.
Me too. I'm hoping it goes around you too, John.
Oh boy, we've copped it. Yeah, I've lived all my life here in New Zealand, and we've had them over the years, come down. But man, we've been getting hammered with them this year. Yeah, not very good. Yeah, mate.
Wow.
There's always an aeroplane we can fly. We had a fly the other day, but I couldn't fly because I've got this crook hip, and I've got to go and have that done privately because the state system here, or the government health system, which is very good, I must say, is overloaded at the moment, trying to catch up with all the COVID stuff. So I have a chair that I can sit in and fly, but the other day I didn't really feel like flying at all, and we just had a good time. I was helping my buddies get in the air, and we had a good fly. So that was good.
Oh, good. Oh, very, very cool. Very good.
Yeah.
Let me
I've got
welcome
something.
Caffeine real quick. Hey, Caffeine, thanks for coming in. And
Hi guys, how are you?
I didn't see your
How-
thread. I mean, I
how
didn't
you-
read it, but I saw your thread about how to get a smooth takeoff with a Stooge.
Mhm.
Did you get any responses to that?
Yeah. I have figured out how to fly off Stooge smoothly because I got some trouble when I had the foam on the stick
Yeah.
because it's holding the step when it's
Mhm.
it's
Right.
it's too thick, the foam.
Hey, Caffeine, Salamat Pagi.
Yeah, selamat pagi.
All right.
How do you know that?
Oh, I lived in the area for many years and stuff.
Oh, cool.
Didn't live in Indonesia, but I was all around and in and out of it. But Bahasa is spoke quite a bit of all the countries around there. So I had to throw
Yeah,
that in.
yeah.
Remember that, Charles. Salamat Pagi. Good morning.
Good morning,
Saloma
yeah.
Pagi. Saloma Pagi. Wow, interesting. Interesting. Well, I was kind of intrigued by your question because I was like, what does he mean? Fly smoothly off of a Stooge. So when your foam is too thick, what did that do? What I don't understand.
You know, it's like when it's going down, but the step is still, you know, it's not because it's too thick.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So the plane, the stab was still rubbing against it, trying to get out of the Stooge.
Yep.
Oh, because my Stooge, when mine falls down,
Mhm.
it falls down below the stab. I mean, it clears
Mhm.
it by at least an inch and a half, I think. I'm just guessing. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I don't know. Maybe your Stooge is a little different than mine. I made my Stooge off of a Wendy Yanowski video, but mine does hold the stab and then it just drops down and
Yeah.
it falls below the plane, so it's smooth. And so that's why I was like, what does he mean? How do you get off smoothly from a Stooge? But
Well,
now I understand.
yeah. Well, it's probably because of my flying field has that high grass that when the snoot's going down, it's not really flat, you know, because it's the grass is just still high, you know. The snoot doesn't go like really flat, but still it has
Right.
still some angle that makes the step
Right.
got stuck, you know.
Yeah, now my Stooge, the upright is upright, and then there's like a little section's about an inch and a half, kind of like an L shape.
Yeah.
And so maybe because I have the pivot point there, mine falls flatter than yours does, just because of the way it's designed. That's one I can think of.
Yep.
And looks like Gary, looks like your screen is doing what mine used to do.
Yeah.
And all you got to do is uninstall the Zoom and then reinstall it.
It just updated for me, but that's why I couldn't get in so quick.
Yeah, well, maybe uninstall it when you, not necessarily tonight, but just uninstall it and then reinstall it. And
I never installed it though. I just clicked on it or something.
Yeah, well, you have Zoom on your PC or computer or laptop. That's how you get in here.
Yeah.
And so you just need to remove it and then reinstall the Zoom client, and then that will go away. But there's no big deal. It's not doing it too bad. We'll see what happens. And let me welcome Paul Taylor. Thank you for coming in, Paul. How are you doing?
Hey guys,
Hi, Paul.
Mr. Mark.
Hi.
Mr.
So let me ask, anybody done any flying or worked in the shop lately?
It's
I see
been
you shaking your head, Barry. That means you've been doing both or just one of them?
Both. I'm put my second coat of dope on my Gypsy tonight.
Oh man, it sounds so good.
Yep.
That is
And we got some
pretty
flying in this past weekend. We flew. We got probably 7 or 8 flights in a piece this Saturday. So it was nice.
fantastic.
No wind at all. It was not a puff of air.
Fantastic. No wind at all. That's you like that when there's no wind? I like a little bit of wind.
No, I like some because we fly in a bowl, and it's when the wind's blowing just a little bit, it swirls, so it makes it really tough to fly the plane. I like a little bit of wind.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Great. That's I don't know when I'm going to get around to building my Gypsy, but I have the kit, have the plans. I might need to get some material. Let me mute this here. Just oh good, it stopped ringing. Anyways, yeah, it's one plane I really admire, and I think it would be good as a a double threat, fly it in classic and then fly it on Pampa, so if I was to go to a contest, maybe get 4 official flights in as opposed to just getting 2 official flights,
Well, I haven't been flying much. I'm still basically kind of a rookie, but it's the best plane that's flying for me right now. So I really like the plane.
Oh, I bet. Oh, I look forward to flying my Gypsy, and I just haven't had a chance to do that yet. So I see Ryan. Hey, Ryan, welcome. Thank you for coming in. First time, I believe, right?
Yeah, first time in the Hangout. But I just looked at my profile on Stunthangar, and I've been a member since 2006. So kind of a long time, but first time jumping in the actual live stream. So
I appreciate that very much. So tell me, do you fly What are you pointing to, Paul?
That's mine.
That's my dad. Paul's my dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, fantastic.
Yep,
Oh, that's man, I envy you guys so much. I mean, I wish I had a father that flew model airplanes. My dad was in the Navy, was gone most of the time, but he didn't really take any interest in it. So it's just me by myself. And then here is my son. My son's not interested in it. I've taken him out and he's flown a Skyray 35, I don't know, maybe 10 times. And I'm not kidding. It didn't matter if he crashed or not. I said nothing negative. I said, good effort, great. I mean, everything positive. I didn't want him to not do this hobby. I did everything I could possibly to be nothing but encouraging, and no criticism. I might suggest you can do this a little bit different next time, son, but it did not work. I'd have to pay him to come fly with me. So that's why I'm saying I'm so jealous. And then I have some friends that actually are 3 generations. I've had the grandfather, the son, and the grandson come out flying. And I'm thinking, whoo, boy, that would be.
That's what we're hoping for. I've got a 5-month-old, so we're hoping to get him on the handle pretty soon.
Next month. Next month,
Yeah,
we'll
next
have him
month.
on the handle.
Fantastic. Oh, that's great. So,
Yeah.
So what planes are you flying right now, Ryan? What models are you have on board, or what are you
It's been
flying?
hard to get my head off of the. I fly a lot of the FPV drones and FPV wings, but I also do control line as well. I've got a whole fleet behind me in the wall in the next room over. But yeah, it's we normally, when my dad comes to town, we'll go do some control line and do a little bit of the kind of little column A, little column B.
Good.
Yeah.
As far as control line, what model has captured your heart, or what do you really enjoy flying as far as control line?
I've been flying an ARF tutor for a really long time, and we've just got it dialed in to where it flies on rails. I want to get more into the building side of things. I mean, obviously, my dad does a lot of building, and I just need to go ahead and build my first couple warped wings and get that under my belt.
Right. But I do like flying that Tutor 2, right? It's Tutor 2, correct? Yeah.
Correct.
I have one. In fact, I have one that has an LA-46 on it.
Yep.
And I flew it in competition, and I actually like that plane. It's a good flying plane, so can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it.
What motor do you guys use on your Tutor 2s?
Mine has an LA-46.
Okay.
What are you using? Same?
Yeah, LA-46 as well.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the kit, doesn't the kit show like a 51, I think, or something, the box? I don't know if it shows.
I think the kid actually showed an LA-40.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
When
Yeah. I
when
think
Tower
that's
Hobby was selling them, they were recommending the Tiger 51.
okay.
But
Yeah.
I tried that. It's just too much motor and too heavy. LA-46 is a lot better engine.
Yeah. LA-46 is a really good engine. When you consider how much you have to invest in it, it is a good engine. Easy to start, runs like a top, plenty of power, for the most part.
I don't understand why companies who make great quality products just stop making them, like Tiger, like LA-46s.
Yeah,
Like
I don't.
they'd still be selling hundreds and hundreds of them, and they're not making those anymore. They're gone by. I don't
No,
get that.
I might be mistaken, but I think the RC community did not care for the motor.
No.
Nope.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it was. Is the RC
Bummer.
guys poo-pooed it, and
They're not wild enough.
Yeah, you
Yes.
can pick them up pretty cheap from the RC guys.
Not a strong enough motor for what they want to do.
Yeah.
and it's just
It's a shame.
cat's meow for us.
Hey, Charles,
Hey, Mark.
I was talking to someone today who's pretty well connected with who makes engines and all that. Enya is still being made.
Bummer.
Yeah.
And he said that, if
Not many of them.
Go ahead, Mark. Lynn
Sorry,
loves
Mark.
you. Let him know
I'm
that.
sorry, Mark. I couldn't help it.
Go ahead, Mark. Come on.
anyway, you're going electric. What's the difference?
Sure enough.
But anyway, he said, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if people were willing to put in a substantial order if OS wouldn't produce several hundred 46s. And you know what? He probably has a point there. I mean, why would they do it if they didn't have a market? But if they found out they had a market, you know, Randy does that on lower quantities with PAs. You know, he'd order 100 and then the first 100 people got them. So, I did want to go back to something you guys were talking earlier about. Len, this is for you.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Flying with a Stooge. But I was
Yes.
lucky. I grew up, and on television, I watched the Three Stooges.
Right.
See, so that way, I was familiar with Stooges years ago.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Ouch.
Well, you know,
See you guys.
all right.
Yeah.
Well, you know, a Stooge is so convenient when you don't have a reliable
Oh, absolutely.
Padre. You know, I had a
Yeah.
had a situation where I was flying in Oceanside, which is about a 40-minute drive from where I live, and I would talk to this one individual. I don't want to name his name, and we would talk about getting together and put some holes in the sky, you know. And I'd be so excited, just if I had a new plane, I was going to do my maiden flight, right? I drive out to Oceanside, and the guy wouldn't show up, and he didn't even have the courtesy to give me a call, tell me he wasn't going to show up, you know. And I was in a situation where I had to bite my tongue, because if I told him what I really thought of him, guess what? Now I have no one to fly with, right?
He wasn't there anyway, so what's the difference?
I know, but I kept thinking that he was going to change. I kept thinking,
Okay.
you know, next time, but I kept, you know, the insanity of doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
eventually I just called Wendy Ranowski, and I said, Wendy, how do you make a Stooge? I've never even seen a Stooge. How do you make a Stooge? And he goes, Charles, I can't believe it. You're calling me at this time, because I just had that video in my hand, or something close to
Wow.
that. And so he sent me the video. I think it cost me about $20, you know, 15 and $5 shipping.
Yeah.
And then I saw it, and it was really easy to make. And then I can't tell you how many flights my Stooge has. I wouldn't be surprised if it has 2,000 flights on it.
It's got more flights on it than your airplanes.
Wait, I mean, over different airplanes, you know, it's just amazing. And so it's always in my vehicle, so I always have it in case someone doesn't show up.
Great. Good plan.
Hey, Philip, thank
style-
you for coming in. Philip, how you doing?
Yeah, doing great. What style Stooge did you build? The one that holds the little, just holds a little pin, or the type that drops the two levers?
The latter one. The latter
The
one.
latter.
The latter one. The one that holds the
Two
stab
pins.
and it drops it down. Yeah. That
Yeah,
to me, I felt more secure with that than relying on the tail wheel.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I know it works. There are guys who have no problem. Yeah, just like mine looks very similar to me, make a Paul Big, because this looks just like the one Wendy makes.
This is
Yeah.
Wendy Stooge.
All right, you lucky man. That is amazing.
Yeah.
It is launched
Thousands.
planes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Look at that.
that is exactly what I have. Mine's a little bit different, but it's the same premise. And yeah, they're excellent. And thank you so much, Paul, for showing me, because some people, you know, I want to be sensitive to some of our listeners who are just beginning, and they don't know some of the things we say, like Pampa. You know, we just assume everybody knows what that means, but it's Precision Aerobatic Model Pilot Association. Precision Aerobatic Model Pilot Association. That's a mouthful. But ARFs, or, you know, we say a lot of acronyms. We got to kind of bring it down for people who don't know. And let me welcome, I'm not sure of the order, but I'm going to welcome Mark Newman. It's been a while since I've seen you, Mark. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate it. How you doing?
Doing well. Just nothing like crazy. Gonna try to get to this year. I've got a little bit of flying in a couple weeks ago, and yeah, starting to get through the pattern. Well, not all the way, but getting close. Yeah. I just decided to put a whole bunch of airplanes together, and when I bust one, go grab another one and keep moving.
Yes, that is,
Now you're talking.
yeah, because that losing that handle time is it's such a detriment. You know, you can be getting going and having success, and if you don't have a plane, then you got to build another plane or buy a plane and put together, and you lose that handle time. And then by the time you get back, you've lost some of your swagger, and you got to get your confidence back, right?
Yeah, you know, I've got some nice airplanes. Just I don't want to mess them up. I put together actually I put together 2 Banshees.
Nice.
A Chipmunk. Chipmunk is almost done, the Super Chipmunk. And I'm doing for my Nats plane, I'm gonna do it's a Claire Silvering P-51. Yeah.
Nice.
So lots of building and you know, getting the shop set up finally and getting settled in Kansas City. So
Good deal.
things are going good. I heard the word Enya, you know, and I felt the thing from Lynn all the way from Canada. If we ever find Lynn unconscious, just wave in a Enya 35 square
Oh, you guys are killing.
insert under his nose. He will come up fighting.
You know, I just gotta burn this in. Let me make myself big. So Lynn, this is just for you, Lynn.
Oh yeah, beautiful. It's gotta be
A
an
brand new Enya 40.
Oh, that's the point.
That's really nice engine, Charles.
Thank you.
Brad drooling.
Brad
again?
would be, yeah, Brad should be drooling. See,
Brad
Brad and
drooling?
I have this thing. Brad loves engines. They're like his motor of choice. I mean, he loves them and he loves to make them run good right when I'm at the field. It just makes his day.
Yeah.
I've got a couple good ones. The one on my rat thing, luck of the draw or whatever, but it's really, really running well. And I think it's getting one from the start or knowing what has been run in it and how it's been run. Yeah.
Okay.
The difference, you know, I think, you know, in my limited experience, but you know, if you try to, especially if you go back with some kind of synthetic fuel after it's been castered up for a long time, you know, that's probably the kiss of death. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. Let me welcome Carl Reed. Hey, Carl, how you doing? I know you got your mic muted, but thanks for coming in, Carl. And hopefully we can go flying this Friday. Hopefully the weather and the field will dry up and we'll be ready to fly this Friday, hopefully, Carl.
Yeah, you need to dry that field up, Charles. I'm coming out there Saturday, so you need to get that field dried up a little bit.
Okay, I'll go out there with a hair dryer and do the best I can.
I was whether
Might as well. You won't be using it on your hair.
Do that.
Yeah.
Ooh, that hurt.
I can use a paper towel just to dry my hair. It's no problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Me too. We don't use hair dryers, so we can use them to dry the field out. It's perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are too many. Ooh, man.
I've dried polo fields out with the helicopter. So if you got any
Oh
helicopters,
yeah, perfect.
Wow.
What the heck, Mark? What the heck are you doing in Kansas City?
That's I moved.
You moved.
I moved.
Wow,
Yeah.
you training out there?
Well, you know, I'm in Vegas now. I'm working in either Vegas or Miami. You know, so kind of the center of the U.S. made sense, and you know, family's now in Kansas City. So I mean, it
Okay.
made sense
Makes
together. Yeah.
I was
Hey,
born
Phil.
there, but I've never spent much time there. Kansas City, Missouri.
Hey, Phil, I got a question for you.
Okay.
I was looking at an old Pampa directory the other day, and I saw Phil Bailey that used to live in Largo. Was that you?
No, that's Baily. He was an Air Force colonel, I think. And I understand. I don't know if he's still around or not.
Okay.
I've heard stories, but no, there was 2 of us, and I kept wanting to meet him. And he was always at this one contest, and I went to the contest. He didn't make it that year. He went every other year, and I made it on the year he wasn't there. So, but he lived in Florida, the last I heard, but I never knew where.
Largo is what I saw.
Yeah, but he was quite a flyer at one time. But I kept wanting to meet him myself, and I never did. No, I'm in North Carolina and been
All
here
right.
last 50 years anyway.
All right.
But I was born in Kansas City, Missouri, and my only Kansas City, Missouri joke, I was born in Research Hospital. So my wife and I get a chance to go to New Mexico, drive out to New Mexico, see my older brother. We drive through Kansas City. So we stop in Kansas City and we're going to try to find Research Hospital. Well, I go by Research Hospital and it's an animal clinic. Oh, speaking of an animal, he wants to come up my lap. My terrorist. So I go to asking a couple people, what the heck? He says, and I finally told somebody I was born in Kansas City. I was born in Kansas City at Research Hospital. And he says, wait a minute. He says, Research Hospital is now Research Medical Center. That big hospital down the road, that whole complex, that's it now. Oh, okay. Because I said, what's the deal? He says, well, Research Hospital is a medical clinic, but it's for animals. Oh, okay. So they had a good laugh on us, but we didn't know any better. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
But I finally got to see where I was born. But anyway, my older brother still says I was hatched. So
It's fitting.
my younger brother used to say I was let. So I guess, you know, that's better, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, I don't
Hey,
want
Lynn.
a beard.
Hey, Lynn.
Yes.
Maybe sometime, and I know you showed us your shop one night on there.
Right?
Your wing fixture.
Yes. The steel wing fixture.
Yeah, I'd like to maybe get a photo of that. It's just interesting the way that I know you certainly can't bring it up. Yeah.
No, I can't bring it up, but what I can do is I can put it on the table one night and then we'll take the computer downstairs. We'll do that.
I'm working on I'm going to build a kind of a permanent wing.
And I mean, yeah, I think you could probably make it out of hardwood as well, and it would work just as well.
Right, or maybe aluminum, as long as it's straight, right? I mean,
As long as it's perfectly straight, you're good to go. I mean, mine's cold rolled steel, and I mean, it's never going to go anywhere. A buddy of mine made it years ago, and it's outstanding. I mean, it's dead on, not straight.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, I guess in the leading edge of all of your ribs, you make a slot, right? Because you make all of your own ribs.
Yes, a little slot. And then what I do is there's a piece of 1/8-inch balsa that goes into the slot of the rib. And on the other side, it sticks out 1/8 of an inch and it goes into the jig.
Slot.
Yeah,
Okay.
into the slot of the jig.
That's
So
what I
it can
thought.
never go anywhere. When it's in there, boom, done.
Why don't you just do it on rods? I mean,
Oh, you got to see this jig. You'll know why I don't do it on rods.
I want to see the jig.
Yeah, I'll set it up for next Friday or Monday, and I'll show you. I'll do a little demo on that jig.
Come on, bring it up.
Bring it up. I'll get you. You come on down and you bring it up.
You'll need a backhoe.
Naomi will help you.
Yeah, Naomi will help me. I'm sure she will. If I ever drop that on her toe, I'll never get any help again.
I've only got 3 jigs downstairs now. Lord, all I gotta do is see another one.
The long piece that goes along the trailing edge, it weighs well over 100 pounds.
I thought it was.
Oh yeah, it's heavy. Like it's really heavy.
You know, I think trying to set up the shop and stuff like that. And I know Charles, you had mentioned it about it at one time. Is maybe we pick a time, and everybody. I don't know, for a lack of words, log in from their shop and have kind of like shop tours just for.
We could do that. That's a great idea.
I always love seeing people's shops. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
and
like, man.
Yeah, we started out with what we thought was a nice, good, large blank canvas, and by the time we got everything in there, we're going, okay, I got to buy another house.
Not enough room.
I buy another house. That's funny.
That was good stuff. Yeah. All right. Well, that's basically what I had. That's good.
Is Brad on here still?
Yeah. Brad's here. He's petting his cat.
Yeah. Tomorrow I'm going to Brad's to work on his shop.
See?
Oh, fantastic.
We're all building shops. Everybody's got to have a shop.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, my
I gotta get
shop's
power out to mine.
my shop's in construction mode right now.
Yeah.
I think that's
Very
Tomorrow
nice.
Yep. Tomorrow we'll finish up the wall and get things a little more organized.
Yeah, I know when
Maybe
we
put a
moved-
door on.
Yeah, get a door on it tomorrow. Keep the felines out most of the time.
Yeah.
How
That is
far
cool.
apart do you guys live?
About 10 minutes, 5 to 10
Oh.
minutes.
Oh, that is great.
6 miles, 7 miles.
Yeah, but like
Brad,
that.
Brad, you can use lens stuff whenever you want.
I could.
Yeah, he tries. That's right.
I own the
Me-
field.
He owns the field. He can have anything he wants in mine. It's not a
Oh.
problem.
Wow, that is great. So you have
Oh,
a
yeah.
private flying field, Brad?
The
Yeah,
bean field, yeah.
yeah, the bean field. That's where we fly at the bean field, Brad's field.
Wow, that is, oh man, have your own private field. That's the ultimate.
It's all good till you gotta cut the damn grass.
Yeah, Brad's cut more grass than anybody on the planet.
Do the beans get in the way when you're trying to land at all?
Well, no, they're just
Only
off
if
to
you
the
walk
side.
a long ways out of the center.
One night, Brad, you should show a picture of the bean field, one of those overhead shots, so they can see how it's laid out.
Yeah, we'll get
Yeah,
one of
that's
your
great.
buddies, get one of your buddies, one of them crazy, well, I forgot what you call the darn things, to take a picture. Mark
Drone.
knows, I've seen Mark fly one.
I've got some drone pictures taken back in, I think, 2015. Michael Wilcox was up here and he had his drone with him, and we had it all set up for triple OM FAI combat. And yeah, it turned out pretty good.
Well, I got a buddy that has a aerial photography business, and I used to go with him and take the pictures, and then he got the plane all set up with computer operated cameras. He looks at a screen and takes a picture and do it by himself. So I just ride along with him. And now he does it with a drone. He's got special dispensation, whatever you call it, to fly his drones higher than 400 feet. He'll take it up 650 feet. I think it's as high as he goes, and takes pictures from there. And he's making a good living. Must be. He's got a drone now. It's about 6 foot across. Takes a
Oh,
heck of
wow.
a camera, and it goes way high.
Commercial
He
drone.
I'm
has to
looking
get
to
clearance
doing-
before he takes off.
I've looked into doing drone work like that, and the only downside is a lot of that requires travel. Like I think nowadays they've got like people inspecting cell towers and inspecting like radio towers and stuff, and
Yeah.
a lot of it's doing geographic surveillance and stuff. But again, you're on the road constantly, which someone
Yeah,
with a
he
big
says he
family,
can
it's kinda
travel as
hard.
much as he wants.
And there's always insurance.
Yeah.
And there's what about what do you say? Insurance?
Insurance.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
He
Yep.
says that is the bane of the whole project is the insurance.
Oh, I'm sure.
His wife goes along with him, and the kids, they're empty nesters now. So his wife goes along with him, and they go all over the country and they take pictures, and they strap all this stuff on the drone that measures radiated frequency and everything that leaks off the towers and all that junk, measures all that stuff for him. But he says he's on the road 360 days a year.
Wow.
I said,
Wow.
you got to be kidding. He said, no, last year I was trying to make enough to retire. And he traveled 360 days, took 5 days off at Christmas. That was it. I said, forget it. I don't want no part of that.
Yeah.
That's too much traveling.
Hey, Paul Taylor has his hand raised digitally. Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I got a picture of Jimmy Lynch's shop. You guys were talking about shops a while ago. Just want to know if anybody was interested in seeing
Oh,
it.
I'd be interested in
Sure,
seeing
sure.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's check it out.
All right, let me see if I can figure out how to do this.
No problem.
Hey, Charles,
Yeah.
I've been working on Strega. It's more like a tugboat than a model airplane.
Oh.
Oh, I remember
Wow.
that.
Oh, that's the
Oh,
number.
wow.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's Charlie
Wow.
Reeves. Yeah.
Yeah, that's in Jimmy's shop. He's got 2 buildings in his backyard. One is the shop that he builds in, and then the other one is his hangar. Let me see if I can get to that.
You
Nice.
talking about Jim Lynch?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Cool
Yeah.
deal.
yeah,
I've been in the model shop. He's
Yep,
a
that's-
really great guy.
yeah.
Was that the restoration of Bob Gieske's Nobler?
That's
It
it.
is. Yep. And then
Nice.
that's Charlie's big job in the background there on the stand.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were doing with that. That's a nice plane.
Oh, that was a new one he was building. He had an accident with the old one and built a new one, looked just like the old one.
Yep. Let's see if I can get the other one up here. All right.
Any of you guys ever seen Tom Morris's shop?
Oh,
That's
yes, been there many
pictures.
times.
I've
Oh.
seen pictures of it.
Oh, my
Been there
God.
many times, and you talk about a nice shop, he's got it. And talk about a gentleman, when you go down there, he just shows you all through it, anything you want to see.
Yeah.
There's
Are you
Big
guys
Jim.
seeing that?
Yeah.
That's his
That's cool.
that's his RC stuff. Some of his RC planes there.
Wow.
Let me see if I can get to the next one. Wish I could just share the whole thing out, the whole folder.
Oh, yeah. I think if you click on one, make it big, you should be able to just hit your arrow key and advance it by slide by slide, I think.
All right.
Gotta be
Can you
careful what
see
you have
that?
mixed in there.
Okay, here's his this is all his control line planes, or some of them.
All right.
Wow.
I've watched him fly 3 of those.
How do I?
And that Shark or Humbler, it's not Shark, it's the original, the Humbler.
Yeah,
That picture does not do it any kind of justice at all. That thing is exquisite.
yeah, you talking about? Yeah, that was at
Humbler.
the Baton Rouge contest. Yeah.
Yeah, that thing is.
What if you double click on that
absolutely
image there, Paul? What happens when you double click
click
on the
on it.
image?
It's not. I'm trying to open it. It's not letting me open it. Let me go back.
All right.
I was trying to figure out who that was in the center at the bottom. I couldn't. was
That
sitting in the
is
chair.
Jack Sheet. So that's when we had our
That's what I
junkyard
thought it
wars.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, it's Jack Sheets and then Jimmy and then his wife Joanne. They were on our junkyard wars team.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was at Brodak. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I remember that.
And then Jim brought his Jack Sheets.
FW190.
Yep. And Jack signed it originally in '97, and then Jim had him sign it again. That was in 2012.
Wow.
I tell you
Nice.
what, that is a nice FW190 if you've ever seen it. It flies really well.
I
And
actually
then that's his
flew a model of
volunteer.
that.
I wish I could get these things to enlarge.
The Volunteer is Jim's own design.
Yeah. Are
Too
you
bad
guys?
Bob
are you
Hunt's
guys-
not here. He could probably tell you how to do it because he does it all the time.
Yeah, he's on a Mac though. Let's see. There's his volunteer.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. And then this is a picture of his
Oh, wow.
wife's dad. He died in the war, so he kind of dedicated that to Joanne's father.
Nice.
He built two of
Nice.
these at the same time. One of them has an LA-46 in it, and I believe this is the one that's got the Aero Tiger 36 in it.
Wow.
Nice. Did you guys see Aero Tiger on eBay?
Yeah.
How much?
I clicked on it today and someone bought it for $125.
Oh my
Yeah.
word.
Brand new, I think.
That was a
I didn't see
36,
that, or
right?
it wouldn't have gone. It would have been.
I know
gone.
because I think it started at $59 as a bid, and then you can buy it now for $125. And because
I bought
he
that
didn't
quick.
advertise it as a Aero Tiger, but when he showed the bottom of the crankcase, you could see the writing on it. It said Randy number something.
That's an Air Tiger.
Wow.
And I was like, why didn't I see that sooner? I didn't check my email. Because if I would have saw it, I would have been, bam, even if I didn't have the money. I would have bought that
Yeah,
thing
you have to
somehow.
snap those up when you can find them.
Yeah, because I
Sparky.
want an Aero Tiger, but it's like, I don't want to pay the Aero Tiger price.
I know what you mean there.
There you go.
There it is.
Oh, there
Perfect
you go.
rhythm.
Hey,
I kept
all right.
wondering where it
You're
was.
doing good.
Wow.
All right. So he built two Geo XLs.
Yep.
Cool.
I've seen Perfect Rhythm. That was at the Nats one year.
Yeah. I think that's One of them's got an aerial tiger in it, and the other one I think has a PA on a pipe. I think.
Perfect Rhythm's a PA on a pipe.
Okay, I think that's the one. Ryan, didn't you fly that one?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think.
wait,
that,
was it the Geo? They're both
Yeah.
Geo.
Yeah, you were about probably 12, and he let you fly that thing. I was scared.
That Nobler is interesting color scheme.
That's a ARF that he redid. And then right below that, he and I both built. These are Rodak Hurricanes.
The one I love is
Nice.
that Aries, the one you can barely see the wingtip. That is such a gorgeous airplane.
Let's see. I got a picture of that. Let me see if I can find it.
Let me welcome Howard Rush. Thank you for coming in, Howard.
Hey, Howard,
Appreciate
good
it.
to see you, buddy.
And thank you, Al Fierro, for coming in. Good to see you.
Big Al's in the house.
How you guys doing?
Doing
Doing
good.
great, Al. How are you?
Doing great.
There
Oh,
it is.
wow. That is pretty.
Yeah, and that's got a 36 in it.
Yeah. It is gorgeous. And it
And he had,
flies really well.
he had an orange one. He gave it away.
I was just gonna ask about the orange one. Now I know. I
Yeah.
saw the orange one at Brodax years ago.
Yep.
And what are those half A's there? That one with the bell crank outside on top.
I think that's a little Sky Ray.
That's a Skyray, yep.
Yeah.
The one at the bottom's a Ringmaster.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
The other one might be a Dewey Bird.
What's that, the blue one we were just looking at, Charles?
It's the Aries.
Ah,
There's the
I've
junkyard.
got
plane.
wasn't it all part of the same family with the Cobra and?
I
They
believe
come from
so,
the
yeah.
Cobra.
They were those I-beamers, yeah.
yeah, that was Billy Werwich.
Still Werwich, yeah.
Elegant looking plane. I've got a
That was-
Cobra over here behind me, which was handed to me in a clean sack as a bucket full of kindling. And the guy said to me, if I can put it back together, I can have it.
Wow. Nice.
I'm in the process of putting it together. I'll show you in a minute if you like.
Okay.
That was the plane that Jack Sheets designed for the Junkyard Wars for us.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got the plaque for that in the garage. I can go get.
Very cool.
Yep.
And I have a few questions from the chat box. Let me get caught up here. Ri-Fi says howdy, and then and this guy's handle is called Making Model Airplanes. He asks, "Are you guys going to Muncie in July for the Nats?" And I know Mark Wise is, and
I plan to.
And Philip Bailey plans to.
Howard,
Howard
Rush will be there.
is going there.
I'll
and
be there.
Keith will be there.
You're not going there, Lynn?
No, I can't go this time.
Okay. I'm not going to be there either.
No.
Oh, come
But
on,
is there-
man.
Yeah, that is an expensive and a long trip.
Yes, yes, it is.
Tell me about it. I just checked out my room tonight for California next week.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I
how
don't
expensive.
mind renting a car, but $16 a night to park it is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I thought I might hitch a ride on one of those Chinese balloons and
Now they fly the wrong way. They fly from west to east, and I got to go the other way.
Yeah.
we've seen
So-
the buggers hovering around down here too.
Oh, yeah.
So I have some more questions, you guys. So Mark Lumen, he said, got you like, be there in a short. Thank you, Mark. Then old control line pilot, that's Bob Whitley up in Canada. He's also a member, and so is Mark Lumen. Thank you guys for being our YouTube members. And Bob Whitley says, like given, been a long day, so going to bed early. All right, take care. Then Edward Carlaw, he says, like sent. Now his question is, does anybody make a kit of the Super Satan? I'm so glad you're here, Al, because maybe you might know more than anybody else about that.
Yeah, that's, let me see, on Stonehanger, Action Hobbies Laser Works. I think he retired, but I think he has one more kit.
You want to repeat that again? Action Hobbies, you said?
Right, Action Hobbies. He's also called Laser Works. He makes a short kit.
Short kit of what?
We're looking for a Super Satan.
Super C.
The combat, Larry Stooge's combat plane.
That'd be a nice one to build.
Very cool. Thank you, Al. And then we're all caught up on the super chats. I mean, excuse me, on the chat box. We don't have any super chats, by the way. So if anybody would like to help us out, please, you can do that either by joining our YouTube channel or by donating with the super chat. And Ed, we do have we have up to 17 people now in here. So this would be as good a time as any to if you're ready, or whenever you're ready, let me know.
Yeah, sure am. And so appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. I wanted to be here and join the group, and really enjoyed listening and watching it. And I just wanted to let you know on how I agree with a lot of the comments in regards to youth education and stuff. And so in my area alone, this year will be year 3 that we're going to be doing Carl Hopkins Youth Aviation Expo in West Virginia. Carl Hopkins started the first model airplane club in Clarksburg, West Virginia in 1928. And he was known as Carl's Boys. And they actually, which is interesting, is everybody that he was working with on free flight and control line, here it is years later, and now they're pilots, mechanics, and supporting World War II for us. So it's pretty interesting seeing his information at the Academy of Model Aeronautics advertisement article that they have. And so that's why we wanted to name the event after it, to highlight that. In our area alone, aviation is, my airport alone is putting $1.2 billion into the economy in West Virginia, with about 1,200 aviation jobs going up to about 1,500 in the next couple of years. And so it's been noticed, and there's all kinds of support. And with the event that we do, the Carl Hopkins event, it's located right next to the airport in Bridgeport, West Virginia, and it's called the Bridge and CityNet Center in Bridgeport, West Virginia. And we utilize the ball fields for control line. We utilize the soccer fields for RC, and we do the indoor turf for free flight. And we also have rockets that is being done by West Virginia University Rocketry Department and Fairmont State University / NASA's program with the rocketry program. And so our area right now had a 30% retirement rate in aircraft technicians on the field here. And if you look at the industry is looking at 35% pilots and technician retirements. So it's tough to find somebody and stuff right now. Everybody that I hire, I basically want to train from the ground up and get our culture trained with them. Getting back to the event, it was started off with donations. The last year was the second year. We raised $18,000, and all of it went to putting on the event and supporting everybody that helped out. And of course, one of the gentlemen that was really great and making it a success is Mr. Weiss there. And he came in on the very first year. to help this program out. And it's just amazing to see the kids fly control line, free flight, radio control, and try to do everything. And we gotta educate the families and the students and let them know what's out there. And nobody's doing it, so that's why we started it. And Mark, if you want to give them a kind of a what your impression was and stuff, I really appreciate it.
Well, Ed, I figured out that I've done 1,473 circles counterclockwise, and I'm still trying to unwind the other way.
We'll change the circle this year. We'll go the opposite.
No, in all seriousness, Ed got a hold of me a few years ago and knew what was going on down at Triple Tree, and I volunteered to help. And it's first of all, he runs an absolutely Class A operation, and I love what the theme is. The theme is just to introduce young people into aviation. I mean, it isn't just to try to find people to fly model airplanes. It's to plant the seed. And my counterpart over there, who does a great job, is Mark Radcliffe, who has a great resume, and he's flying RC all day. The other thing that Ed does really well, he had some full-scale helicopters come in. So it's really the whole aviation feeling down there. The facility is beautiful. So I think the numbers, what'd you have the first year at 500?
Right at 500
Yeah.
kit youth, yes,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
just over 600 last year. But what happened was they changed the school year, and Friday there were several counties that was school, so we didn't see as
man.
many on Friday. So that's why it's August 11th and 12th of this year.
Right. One thing I learned, you try to say yes to everybody. And by the way, Ed's wife is as super as he is.
Thank you.
Was that a lot of parents would bring their kids to the ring rat circle where I was operating. And some of them didn't reach my knee. So you have to picture this. And so what I would do is pick them up. Okay, so I had the kid in my left hand. Now I got two of the things I got to carry. One is the car transmitter, so I can control the throttle. And then I got the handle. So
Wow.
and then I want the kid's hand on there. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to put an entrance fence in there this year. You have to be so high to.
Yeah, we're gonna look
But
at
you
that.
know
Might
what?
be a good idea.
Yeah, the kids were awesome. And it's just like anywhere else. What I look for, just like a Triple Tree, and Ed does this, we had probably 3 or 4 kids that came back a lot. But one of them probably did the rock climbing wall, 10 or 11 times, right?
Yeah,
And
until
he
they
was-
took it away.
He was delightful. I think he was there with his grandfather. I think it was his
Yes,
grandfather.
yes.
Yeah. And then it turns out I'm in the same hotel with him. And this young boy just kept coming back and coming back and coming back. And that's the guy you look for. That's the one you want to say, okay, call this guy when you get back home. So I hope this year I'm going to bring my Pampa list. And most people are going to be District 2, because that's West Virginia and PA. What else do you get up there, Ed? Do you get Ohio?
Yeah, well, AMA, we're District 3, Ohio, West Virginia, Pennsylvania.
Okay, District 3. Okay.
Yeah.
So another thing real nice about it for anyone who participates is that Ed, very much unlike other places, paid for the hotel room, paid for 2 dinners, both of them really nice. It's just such a friendly atmosphere. We've had great weather.
Yeah.
And it's a great facility, and I'm looking forward to doing it again. 11th and 12th.
Yeah.
I sent a note to Ed. I said, "Is it the 24th, 25th?" No, it's the 11th and the 12th. But
Yeah, and
I
we
think-
always have the indoor as a backup.
That's right.
And this.
I'm glad you're showing that. Can you
Yeah,
make that
this is,
bigger,
Oh,
Charles?
yeah.
thank
There you
you,
go.
thank you, Bob Hunt, for putting this in Park Pilot. But this was built to be able to try to show the youth on let's get together and build these and show
Yes.
you how to fly them. So I'm still working on that. But this can be something that can be flown indoors also in case the weather is giving us a hard time,
Yeah, is it-
wind wise or weather wise.
Yeah, is it
That
all
looks
foam?
nice.
Foam, basswood, and a little bit of ply, which was about $50 worth. And then, of course, about another 75 in electronics. So when you're
Yeah.
looking at something affordable to show parents and kids, this kind of fit the bill. And so I've built 2 of them so far, and I bought a whole big package of Deprom foam to try to get this farther and get these kids out there to participate. And I wanted them to try to do some simple aerobatics and go around in circles.
Yeah, yeah.
That looks nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll tell you another thing, and
you have
Ed,
on that?
I don't mean to embarrass Ed, but since I've started this at Triple Tree, which is maybe 13 years ago, I've built 24 ring rats,
Yeah.
which is just a beautiful kit from Stevens Aero. But you know, they get pretty well beat. They can take a hit. It's unbelievable how they can stay together. Well, of course, I lost a couple, you know, last August, and I'll be darned if Ed didn't go out and buy 2 ring rat planes and send them to me.
Wow.
You know, they're $100 each, and that's without shipping. And I don't know very many people that would have done that.
But what's the
Well,
timer?
but look at what you guys do as far as coming out to support the event. So you know, it's
What's
just
the event
amazing.
called again? What's the
What-
event
what-
called again?
Oh, Carl Hopkins Youth Aviation Expo on Facebook. Look on Facebook, go to WV space aviation space expo, and you will see highlights, photos and stuff from the past years, which we just started updating again with the new flyer. And,
Ed's also very good at getting the press and TV there. So he knows how to run this, and it's really, you know, for me, I just enjoy it. You get tired, but that's okay because you're doing something good. Ed, maybe next year you can go to the next step and build the ring rats for me before you send them.
I got 3. I got
a
3
couple.
built.
I got a couple, but I'm on my way to Triple Tree in about 60 days. So, but I think the most important thing about this is that Ed has come up with a really good way to get parents and younger people to come look at aviation. He also has some aviation, high schools and colleges there.
Yes, our high school has a engineering course, which I go to regularly on their projects and talk with them. And of course, WVU and Fairmont University. I've got Fairmont Aerospace Engineering Department coming this year, as well as Fairmont again, Rocketry Department, and West Virginia Rocketry Department. So I'll be publishing. I've been putting up a list of all these organizations that are supporting, and you know, already getting some money donated and stuff. So it's just something that's really needed, and somebody needed to do it. So let's try. One thing that I want to let you guys know is we did have Senator Manchin's representative there last year to look over the event, and they're on the transportation committee and stuff. So it was pretty important. And we also had AMA in there with Tyler Dobbs and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's, so we're trying to just get the word out about all of this, and we just really need to educate the students and that. Oh, and as far as the infants go, Mark, I think I sent you a picture of our P-51 pedal car. And that, so.
No, it's a great time. Ed, I got to tell you though, when the helicopters come in, my first reaction was to grab my flak jacket Uh, I had to kind of remember where I was. But
Yeah, well, I was alert duty with F4s over in Southeast Asia,
there you
and
go.
my golly, when the klaxon horn would go off in town or something, you talk about jumping
Yep.
and stuff. Know what you mean?
Absolutely.
And but I appreciate you guys' time, and I'll have some more stuff that I'd like to to be able to show, because we really got to get the families to know what's out there and stuff. Most of them never, like I say, we didn't know about it.
Yeah.
And stuff. So
yeah.
What would it do any good? Yeah, are you looking for somebody to come and some guys to come and just fly and show them what we're doing?
Well, and yes,
that.
yes, we have that. I had 2 guys from West Virginia that flew the pattern. I had a couple of scale guys coming to do that. Mark was there doing the fantastic job. There's 4 baseball fields. We utilize 2 of them and stuff. So, we're trying to show them.
Might try to come up and make that and just put up some exhibition flights.
That'd be great.
Have some fun.
Yeah.
But Mark, you can't say Mark does everything. I mean, does anything right, because I don't think Mark does anything halfway. If he ever does something halfway, I'm going to be real surprised.
Yeah.
Well,
he always does a good job.
I'll tell you, I shared this with Ed because it was kind of funny. This year, Will Davis, but we'll have to check his retirement calendar, said he'd come up with me from North Carolina and help me out, because I'm doing this alone. And there were times Ed was up there. Ed helped me kind of funnel the people. Who's next? Who's next? So
and I'm working on better support from like the Boy Scouts and things like that. I'm working on a full-time photographer to document it better. So
it gets better every year. And but it was interesting when I went to talk to the guys flying behind me, and they were just having a good time flying control line. 2 of them are Pampa members.
Yes.
And they say, well, how's it going over there? And I said, well, it's a little tiring. And they came over and watched, and they said, man, how do you keep doing that? I mean, you look tired, but you keep doing it. But they never volunteered to help. So toward the end of the day, I went back and they say, you okay? You want a glass of water or something? I said, that's okay. But
just help me.
You can come over too.
Just help me.
I know we can't do that. We can't handle the kids like you do. So
man,
it's a great time. It's a great time.
I wish it was closer. I would check it out.
Well, if you weren't so cheap, you would come out. Come on,
that's
San
true.
Diego.
That's very true. If I wasn't so cheap, I would come out.
Mark, where do you get those?
I resemble that
ring rat
remark
kits?
totally.
Where do you get the ring rat kits?
Stevens Aero. It's in Colorado. They have a good website. They have 2 different sizes. They have I think a little combat plane. Their laser cutting is to die for. I mean, you can build an airplane without glue.
I just want to get one. I was thinking about getting one and putting it together and bring it down to Triple Tree and just, whatever. Try to help out a little bit.
They're a lot of fun to fly if you set them up, not for beginners.
Oh, they can be set up to fly, really fly?
Joe Gilbert at Brodak did the pattern.
Joe Gilbert could fly a brick and do the pattern.
Yeah. With this little ring rat. And it's a great flying airplane.
Yeah.
I saw Joe Gilbert in Louisiana take a ringmaster, a regular S1 ringmaster, and genuinely whoop everybody in classic.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking, he legitimately won that contest.
Yeah.
He is not natural.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember one BSC, he got a 40-point reverse wing over.
Yeah, I didn't do that one, but there you go.
There it is.
Yep, there they are.
Oh, very neat.
Yeah. Phil, it's the 250, not the 100.
Yeah, the 2, I see it. That is
very
neat.
Nice.
Okay. That's neat. Okay. All right, we can see what we can do with that. I'll have to try to find that.
Very nice.
Stevens Acro in Colorado.
Very cool. Very cool. You guys, let me recognize a super chat. Making Model Airplanes gave us a super chat, $2. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. We haven't had a super chat and I can't remember. So thank you very much. We appreciate that. And we welcome Gordon Delaney. Hey, Gordon, how you doing?
Hey, Gordon, good to see you, buddy.
We had to watch the end of America's Got Talent, see who the winners were.
Okay. Yeah, I understand. You got to do some things with your wife, you know. I know Wendy used to watch Dancing with the Stars with Sharon.
Yeah.
And that's what he had to do, right? Maybe he enjoyed it also, but.
Can you read my T-shirt, Charles?
No, well, let me make it big here.
Let's see.
Let's see here. Keep calm and wings level.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes. Oh, that works for control line too. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, they was talking a little bit about the RC a minute ago, and years ago they had a team that was called Spirit of Utah. And they went out and did demonstrations all around the Utah area. But they had to be sponsored, they had to have a control line flyer. And I toured with them for 2 years. And even the RC wives would come over and say, we enjoyed your pattern so much better because we can see it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know. You can see it and you can admire the artwork. You can admire the color scheme. And it is, you know, pretty exciting when a plane pulls out at 4 to 6 feet as opposed to, you know,
60.
RC planes. They're much higher than that typically. I mean, they can get down low, but they typically fly, you know, 5 mistakes high. Where we fly, you know, half a mistake high.
Yeah, at that time I was flying at 4 feet, you know, for the demos with my big twin.
Wow.
Oh, Lord.
Wow.
That'd be neat.
That would be very impressive. No doubt about it.
Yeah. It was funny. I did one show 1 week, and then a few weeks later, went to another airport and flew. And one of the guys come over and told me, yeah, that guy says, I couldn't fly as good as that guy that flew last week with the big twin, old Gordon Delaney. And I said, oh, that is Gordon Delaney. I must have had an off day or something.
That's funny.
But that, you know, I enjoy doing that. You know, I got to meet a lot of the RC flyers and tour with them.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah,
Well, we have another comment in the chat box. Like provided from Frank. I think that's Frank Donnelly. I think it just says Frank D. I'm just assuming that's who it is. If it's not, if you're not Frank Donnelly, then forgive me. Thank you for your support. And I see Mike Lonke is in the house. Thank you, Mike, for coming in or being present. Appreciate that. Hey, Stuart, I didn't get a chance to ask you, have you been doing any flying or working in your shop?
Actually, I kind of just got started working back on my twister, so I was having fun sanding. You know what that's all about, don't you?
You know, I have not been doing much building lately, but I have been doing some sanding on my handles that I'm making. I'm working on making those Ted Fancher handles, but I'm making a custom handle for me. The finger grooves are for my thick acromegaly hands that I have.
Man hands.
Stuart, I can relate to you. I've been sanding for 4 days. That's that shit.
One day today is enough for me. I'm going on strike.
I can only do 1 wing a day. And that took me about 4 hours.
Wow.
My arm gave out.
I don't mind it so bad when it's a foam wing, but when it's I-beam, it becomes a chore real quick.
Yeah, you can sand through the edge of the ribs pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I wanted to ask you a question. I can't remember. They said that if you get a ding in the balsa, I think it was, I think John said this, but you put a bit of water in it, was it? And then heat it and it'll expand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You just use a, like a covering iron?
Yes, that's what I use. A covering iron, yes.
That's what I thought you said. So I just wanted
and it'll just wick it right up. It'll just pull up that dent.
I got some dents, so I'm gonna go at those too. So
If
Yeah.
if you're desperate, you can use a match, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Well, I'll tell you something I found out this week, and I wouldn't have believed this, but I have always used a heat gun to do, the heat shrink tubing. I've always used a heat gun.
Right.
I used a hair dryer and it worked just as well. And it didn't
Yeah.
overheat anything and split it or anything like that. It doesn't take that much heat. It just takes a few more passes.
Mm-hmm.
But try that sometime, because I've been using this industrial heat gun I've had 30 years at work and always used it at work. I mean, use it one time and it's got it, but hair dryer works just as well and it doesn't destroy anything in the process.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you guys were talking about sanding, this is off topic, but I hope you enjoy it. We built a house 15 years ago on 2 acres. I could fly RC off the backyard. I wasn't back at the control land yet, but I had some serious surgery and I couldn't do much around the house. And my wife Barbara got on the John Deere lawn tractor, and I kind of showed her how to work it, and she's doing the front and just going back and forth and having the best time, and turns it off. And I said, "How you doing?" She said, "I really enjoy it. It's just very relaxing." I said, "Well, what are you doing with the clippings?" And she said, "What clippings?" I said, "The grass you're cutting." She said, "I don't know." What she did, she forgot to lower the deck. So all she's doing is taking a ride and making left turns, But I didn't give her a hard time about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's relaxing. So
Yeah. She was trying.
Mark, have you ever run a zero turn lawnmower?
No, I've never done that.
Well, I bought one this past summer, and I've always used the John Deere. 30 years I've mowed with the John Deere. I finally got 31st year, my Deere is about worn out, and I decided to go ahead and buy a zero turn. So I'm so proud of myself. I go up to this lamp post. We got a pole light out there, and I go around the light pole, and I've got it all made and got it all trimmed around it to about 2 inches around it. And I didn't tear anything up. So I was so proud of myself. So I went to the end of the driveway, which is 4 feet from the end of the pole, and I went to make the right-hand turn to go up the edge of the driveway. Forgot about there's 3 feet of lawnmower behind me. Light pole.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a bit of a sticky wicket. My wife did not like that a bit.
Yeah.
She was not impressed.
no.
Another thing I found out, this thing throws grass a lot further than the Deere did. I put it all over her Mustang. So she says, "Guess who gets to wash my car?" She meant it too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, thank you for the
boy.
like, Phil. I see you gave us a like. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It takes talent to be able to multitask. Appreciate that.
Oh, I don't know. I'm telling you.
And I was just curious, Al Fiero, you haven't been in here in a while. So what you been up to, Al?
Not too much, flying a little bit.
Ah,
It's the weather's not that great here. It's windy and stuff. So just fooling around with the ringmaster. And Saturday I went to visit Larry Scarinzi. I stayed with him for 2 hours.
Oh,
How's
nice.
he doing? How's Larry
He's
doing?
hanging in there. He's in a elderly care place, and
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, he's been there for about 4 months now.
Mm.
So
He's always been one of my favorite people. He's just so much fun.
Yeah, I met him at Brodax. That's so glad I went to Brodax. I met him. I met Jack Sheets and his wife Shirley and Larry Scarinzi.
Yeah, he had a vote. He had a vote for his what do they call it? He's in the senior moment. The historic, not the historic.
No, I'm having it. Okay.
Talking about the Hall of Fame?
Yes, the Hall of Fame. There you go. Yeah, he had to vote for that.
Oh,
he ought to be. He ought to be up for vote for that. Really.
Yeah. What's that?
He ought to be one of the ones we're voting on to vote into the Hall of Fame.
No, he's in the Hall of Fame already, so he had to vote on the nominees.
Oh, good.
Good.
Oh, good. Good.
Good.
So he gave him the paperwork.
He
Oh,
deserves to be.
fantastic.
He's a neat guy.
Yeah.
Any of you that don't know, he designed several planes. You name it, the Miss America,
United.
Blue Angel,
Blue Angel, yeah, the
and
Trident.
several of those crazy combat airplanes. I don't know what got into him doing the combat airplanes, but
Yeah, he had
the reason I say that is because he would build them to the nth degree and paint them up, and they look beautiful, and then go out there and, let them go up and get torn all to pieces. I don't understand that. Monocoat or this film cover on them, I can understand, because you can do that in an hour or two. You have one covered and ready to go. But Larry spend days on these things and then put a 36 on it and go fly combat with it.
He must
I don't
have
know.
designed about 5 or 6 of them.
Do what?
He designed about 5 or 6 combat planes, maybe more.
He brought one down to North Carolina one time, and I had talked to him and said I'd love to see some of his pictures of some of his airplanes. So he brought pictures of the You Name It, which is still on the wall. He got it on the wall, or had it on the wall. If he's in a care facility, no telling where it is now. He still had the Blue Angel.
The You
and he
Name
still
It
hadn't
Trident. He brought that to a
Trident.
club. Yeah, he brought that to a club meeting. That thing looks, it was about 4 years ago, and that thing looks like the day he, looks like it was just finished yesterday.
Yeah. Well, the Blue Angel looks just as good. My favorite one is the Trident, or You Name It. But we had a guy here, Bob Galley, that flew one, and that was Bob's favorite airplane, and I learned to love it just watching Bob fly. But anyway, Larry came down here and he brought one of his combat airplanes, and it's got this 36 on it that looks like it's been cleaned up with the motor just shined like a piece of polished aluminum, and it's got that funny cut that diamond cut on the venturi, and the whole airplane looked like it belonged in a glass case.
Yeah.
He went to let somebody fly this thing. Now, they didn't combat it. They flew it and landed it and cleaned it up, put it back in the car. But Larry's just an incredible modeler. And they said when he was doing, at the height of his modeling, he was running a bicycle shop.
What color was it?
Oh God, I don't remember. That's been too long ago.
Okay.
It seems like it was red, but I cannot remember. It had some red on it, but all I can remember is the thing went so fast I couldn't believe it stayed together.
I mean, it's the one I like, the last one that he built.
The yellow one?
The Super Satan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Larry designed that.
Yeah. I can't remember what color it was. It may have been the Super
But
Saiyan.
then he had then he had the Blitz. I think that was like a reddish one.
Yeah.
This one had longer tail booms than I expected to see.
Yeah,
I remember that the tail booms were longer, and it really, but man, that thing would corner. Woo!
Oh yeah, no, I think
I'm still looking for it going this way, and it's back here somewhere. I said, wow.
Who designed that double diamond plane?
the Double Diamond.
I think it's double diamond.
Yeah, that's Jim Vergani's plane.
Oh, okay. Oh.
I mean, I have those planes here. If you guys want to see them.
Sure.
Larry.
Yeah, and let me welcome Bob Gore. Thank you, Bob, for coming in. Appreciate it.
Hi, guys.
And
Hi, Bob.
welcome
Bob.
back, Jonathan Carradas. Thank you for coming back.
Wait till Al gets back, and I'll tell you my favorite joke on Larry Scarenzi. It's not a
Alrighty.
joke on him, it's something he did, but it would just floored me.
And Tom Bramwell gave us a like. And
Tom, where are you, man? Come back in and see us.
yeah, he's busy with the robotics at the high school. Remember, he's
Yeah, I remember him doing that.
full-time
I
doing
want
that.
to
I
get
think it's
another one of those
full-time, but
boards
he's
from him.
working a lot.
I want to get another tut board.
And Mike Lonke, I know you stepped away when I welcomed you, but welcome. Thank you for coming in, Mike. And here we go. So waiting for Al to come back.
All right, Phil, are you going to VSC?
No, I can't make it this year. I'm going to San Diego next week. Spend a week out there. I've got a friend out there that's been trying to get me to come out for about 15 years now. And he says, I'm 86. I can't wait much longer. So we're going out there this year.
I got kicked off. Trying to get back on.
I'm gonna try to get back out there next year, Gordon. I've been wanting to make it back. I'd love to get down to New Zealand and see them too. My favorite fishing rod comes from there. If anybody ever has a problem with a CTS rod, tell them I don't know why. It's you. It's not the rod.
Philip,
Yes, sir.
when you're in San Diego, just go to Interstate 5 and turn right. And
There you go.
I didn't
You know what?
get to
That's
quite
true.
the last part of that, Howard. Say it again. Turn right and what?
turn right and stop by and visit. We're just off Interstate 5. So
Oh, okay.
Where at off Interstate 5? In
um,
Tucson?
no, Interstate 5 doesn't go through Tucson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm leaving the airport and going north about 10 miles is where I'm headed.
Okay, well, just keep going, and that's where we are.
He's quite a bit up, Phil. It's
I think he's up in Washington
Washington.
State.
Yeah. Yeah, the scenery is nice.
Yeah, it is. You're
And
right.
if you bring an electric airplane, you can fly electric. I told the neighbors I'd only fly electric. So
You know what? I was going to bring an airplane. My idea for this trip, I was going to bring an electric airplane with me so I could fly with Charles.
there you
But
are.
it is so bloody expensive to ship anything on an airplane now.
Oh, I thought you.
It's ridiculous. No, I'm
I have
not
a couple
driving.
planes you can fly, Phil. Don't worry about that. I have a couple planes you can fly.
All right, we'll get out there next week.
Yeah, here comes the Super Satan, I think. I just saw it momentarily.
His spot disappeared. I don't know what happened.
Here we go.
Oh yeah,
Super Saint.
that looks like it.
That probably is it.
I bet that's it. I bet that's what he was flying.
Yeah,
That thing was gorgeous. And man, it flew well.
That is Larry Scarinzi's, or that's yours?
This is mine,
Very nice.
but I had Larry sign it.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
very nice.
And this is the Vintage Combat speed record holder.
I think that's the plane they were
Went
flying.
over 129 miles an hour.
Wow.
Wow.
With a Fox?
What's that?
With a Fox?
Yeah, yeah, just the way it sits. Yeah.
Cool.
15 thou lines.
What's that?
15 thou lines.
Of course.
Larry.
That's what they used back then.
Well, I think they weren't very long either.
Wow, that is nice.
Nice job.
It is
I was,
nice.
I was running 60 nitro.
Wow.
60% nitro. Good grief.
And why is your engine so clean? Do you what do you do?
All this, I polished it. Like, basically, it's aluminum. They came, the BBs, the early 36X BBs back in 1966 came polished.
Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Al, I wanted to wait till you got back to my favorite Scarinzi joke. It's not really a joke, but anyway, I was at VSC, my first trip to Vintage Stunt Championships. And I see this brand new Cadillac sitting there. Brand new Cadillac.
This one's mine. That's the Slasher.
Yeah, that's nice too.
And then
I like
Gary
that.
actually saw me fly this at Rodak. But here's the
That's
intake
that
you're
diamond
talking
cut.
about.
Well, I got
That's
a
that
huge
diamond cut.
intake.
Wow.
Here.
Can you believe
Wow,
that
that
little
is-
engine can breathe that much air? Good grief.
That's Larry invented that.
But Larry had his brand new Cadillac sitting here. And there's a little stick in the ground and there's a can on the front of the stick. And it's got a little sign on the can said, "Help a destitute modeler get home."
And then there's this.
Larry has a wicked sense of humor, buddy. I'm telling
Yes.
you.
Double
That's neat.
diamond. Oh, there we go. That's beautiful.
That's neat.
That's the double diamond.
I see
Very
that's something
nice.
like I built. That's wicked enough to be. I like that, especially the leading edge, the way that's done.
Yeah.
Only half sheeted. That's cool.
And then you see this is the stock.
Yeah, that's the way
Stop.
most of them looked.
Yeah, it doesn't have the diamond cut. You want to see? Let me see if I can-
And it's not polished.
Yeah, it's not polished. No, I didn't, this, you can see the difference.
Oh, okay. All right. I was trying to figure out how he got that diamond. So he just cut the case
Yep.
in a way that it makes it a diamond from
Yeah.
a rectangle. Okay.
Yeah, see?
I see. That's very neat.
Yeah.
Wow.
But this one was clocked 124 and this one was 122.
I'm still amazed at how clean your engines are. I mean, you're flying with a bunch of caster. And I'm just so amazed how clean those motors are.
They're electric inside.
They're probably Gardner insides, aren't they?
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Brad?
They're probably Gardner inside, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, they're, I don't know if you can see in here. They're Gardner piston and liners.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no, you know, there's no more Fox stuff that, you know, that's out there that would run any good. But they're still time the same, and they still have a baffle. They're not snurled engines. They're still the same basic, you know, setup like Fox had, except, you know, I retimed the crankshaft. I did the hop up like Larry's Blitz article.
Very cool. Very nice. Hey, thank you so much for showing those planes.
Yeah.
I know our audience, we have an audience of over 32 people.
Oh, wow.
And then, of course, we have people on the show. Like I said, our Monday shows are on par with any Friday night show. I'm telling you, it doesn't make a difference.
Mhm.
Now, you know, Larry used to, you know, and when I was like 13 years old, I was about a quarter of a mile from the house, and I could hear that 36X screaming, and I would just get on my bike and ride down to the field. And that's when he was developing the Super Saiyans and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whenever I watch Wendy Wadowski videos and when he'd be flying at some park, I would see Larry Scarinzi firing up a motor. You know, he'd be holding the plane and the motor would be screaming. And I saw that more times than not watching Wendy Wadowski.
I remember back, you know, in the early years, his planes were easily, you know, 5 to 10 mile an hour faster than everybody else's. You know, the top guys that were, you know, flying at the club.
He was amazing.
Yeah.
Al, that oh, sorry guys, my computer ran out of power. I unplugged and I didn't realize what was going on. Al, I've got a question for you. That wing you held up, the purpley colored one, is that a wedge aerofoil section? Wedge at the leading up to the main spar and then a wedge from there back to the trailing edge, essentially, is it?
What? Yeah, it's a diamond airfoil.
Oh, right. I missed that.
Make it big.
Yeah,
Hang on.
okay.
Hang on. Make it big. Show that again. Oh, okay. Yeah. Very nice.
So it's a diamond airfoil. You see it's angled. It has an angle. What word?
Right.
Right
Yes.
there.
Oh, again.
You know, so that's it's a diamond everywhere. You know, all the way around. Jim,
Oh, stealth.
Is there an advantage? Does it turn well and obviously very quick?
oh,
Or fairly quick?
it turns really, really good. This thing flies really good.
Okay.
And it
There's
has,
an advantage to
I forget
it.
what you call it, but the elevator goes up against the stabilizer. You guys
Yeah,
Oh,
know,
wow.
you know, when
Okay. Interesting.
you see it goes above the stabilizer.
Yeah, I see
Yeah.
that.
Same thing on the bottom. But it turns really, really good.
Oh,
You know,
Wow.
I forget-
Interesting.
There's a name for it, but I guess
is it your own design?
Howard or what's his name? John would know.
Name for what?
when the elevator it jumps up in front of the stabilizer like that.
Balance elevator.
Yeah.
It's called what?
It's called a balanced elevator.
It's called a balanced elevator.
My big Challenger has a balanced elevator on it.
You see how it jumped?
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it turns really good. No problem.
Interesting.
Makes it more responsive.
Yes.
Are you using a pacifier in that or a regular, that a pacifier for the?
Yes, you put a baby pacifier in there.
Very neat.
Which is, well, it makes like a balloon tank, like a water
Right.
balloon.
Yeah.
About
the size of a tennis ball.
Yeah, well, these are, this is made, actually mine is a bowling pin. This, I'll show you mine again. This is a toy bowling pin. That cut off.
I remember those. Yes. Oh, that's very cool.
It's that cut the top.
Yeah. Very aerodynamic.
Yeah.
Did he still use a pacifier on those?
Yes. Yeah. I use a pacifier. Yeah.
Wow.
I could put 4 ounces in there, no problem. Over 4 ounces.
Wow.
Very neat. Oh man, that is so cool.
It's a toy bowling pin. That's back, again, back in the 60s when to make Larry's ladder compartment, like on his Super Satan, it's a real pain in the neck, so to make this and then have the inside, it has to be real smooth, so you don't, when you blow up the bladder, it'll pop it,
Yeah.
So this is really, these things are a pain to make. So
I used to use
a guy from Union Club, came out and he put a toy bowling pin in there, and we said, "Wow, that was a great idea." It was like a Union Model Airplane Club, invention.
That is very cool, Al. That is super cool. What was you saying, Gordy? You're saying something, Gordon.
I used to use a sardine can.
Yes. Yeah, or
super light.
The Vienna sausage cans.
Exactly.
Yeah, I have one downstairs that has a sausage can in it.
Yeah. The first contest I flew that in, I pancaked it, knocked it out of the airplane. And that's when I discovered a rocket tube at the hobby shop.
Uh-huh.
And then I went to a surgical supply center and bought a whole bunch of 1 foot different diameters and thicknesses. After that, I started using surgical syringes for my gas tanks.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll get one that has a sausage can in it.
All right. Gordon, do you ever use those? They used to sell stockings, like an egg-shaped plastic container that they used to package the stockings.
Oh no!
Pantyhose.
No, I never did.
No, he's a combat player. He doesn't wear those things.
Well, I had that in my voodoo. It was I think they were called eggs or
legs.
Yep. Legs? Okay, legs. Yeah. But it was an egg-shaped plastic container. So I put that in the center section of my voodoo, and I put the pacifier in that.
Yeah. LED.
But now the plane is so old that legs container is disintegrated. I just have a big hole in my voodoo, and so I'd have to rebuild something.
I didn't like the idea of knocking my tank out of the wing. And when I was at the hobby shop, they had all these rocket tubes hanging. I got looking at them. I thought, I think that will fit my Challenger. And you get to shove that right up close to your CG. And never look back. The bladder I use puts out 35 pounds of pressure.
Oh,
and
wow.
a pacifier puts out about 2.5 pounds.
Wow.
Hey, Charles.
Yeah, Mark.
I got to tell you, if there's one thing I thought I'd never hear on here, it's sardines.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But I guess anything goes.
Did I say sardines, Mark?
No, it was Al. Al
Yeah,
Oh,
Alfiero.
Vienna sausage cans.
there you go. That's better.
That was probably me that said that.
Here's Alfiero. He's back with what plane is this?
This is a winder,
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
and then this has the sausage can in it.
very
Oh, yeah.
nice. Very cool. I like the ribbing of the can.
Yeah. So you just make a balsa wood plug for the one side. The top pulls off,
Uh-huh.
you know, like a sort of like a beer can, except the
Right.
whole top comes off. And you make a balsa wood plug for it. Put it up against this side and
Wow.
I like the engine.
What engine is that?
Super Tiger.
Super Tiger.
Oh, is that a G21?
Yeah.
Yes, I've got
That's
one.
a, that's a wicked engine. That is a scary engine.
Yeah. That one's okay.
Hey,
Not
do
the box,
you ever use spinners? Because there was a guy that used to come in here, Terry Forbes. Terry Forbes, if you're listening, give you a shout
Yeah, I
out. Hi,
remember
Terry.
Terry.
Terry always had spinners on his combat planes. I thought they looked so nice.
Well,
And they had the engine mount was always curved. It's real nice contour. Oh, that's the bowling pin. Very
Yep.
cool.
Hey, cut the top off and then
Yeah,
oh, wow.
very cool.
that's in here.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually this way.
very
That's
cool.
neat. Very neat.
Wow.
I don't know if you can.
Yeah, we can see it. Yeah, that works. Yeah.
Hey, Al, I'm gonna have to add bowling pins and cans onto my source list for
Right.
for parts.
Some weight.
This is getting complicated.
Yes, not
Oh, my
easy.
goodness.
Not easy.
And baby pacifiers.
And
Sure.
baby,
Baby
yeah,
pacifiers. That's it.
that's true. That's true. I have a comment in the chat box. Let me read this. This is from I believe this is either Ruben or Stephen, but they said Stephen and Ruben will be going to VSC. So that answers, I think someone asked who's going to VSC. No, someone asked who's going to the Nats, but that's great. And he said, I missed the Southern State Regionals due to the flu that got me very sick a few weeks ago. And that's Ruben. Thank you, Ruben, for chiming in. Appreciate it. I'm glad you're feeling better too, Ruben.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So you be at VSC. Fantastic. I'm not going to be there, but I'm hoping that to pick up a plane from Tom Luciano, and I think John Wright's going to bring it back for me. So that's the plan, anyways.
I did see in Model Aviation that I didn't know this. Shoot, I just forgot his name. Riley Wooten passed away.
Yes.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
so
shut
sorry
up.
to hear that.
They
Yeah.
said,
There you go.
they want one with a spinner on it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Very nice.
I did that because it was too touchy to fly, so a little nose weight.
Right. Very nice.
Riley, for any of you that don't know, used to have balsa. He used to sell balsa through out of Texas, Lone Star.
Yep.
I think it was, excuse me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Lone
right.
Star.
Lone Star
And
Balsa.
that was I met him at VSC one time and said something to him about, I said, the last time I ordered an order, I just got it a few months ago. I said I had ordered 3 to 6 pound wood, just lightweight wood, hand selected and different grades. He said, you didn't get it? I said, no. He said, do you still have it? I said, yeah, I still got the whole box. Send it back to me. I got home, I sent it back to him. About 3 days later, I mean, it had to be in the mail to me the same time the other was on the way back to him. I got a stack of wood. There was more than I had ordered initially, and you couldn't have dreamed of getting prettier wood.
Nice.
Riley was a really good dude. He was just a really
Nice.
good guy.
He sold engines too. I bought 2 Fox 25s off him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he sold a lot of stuff. And he would, if you
Yeah,
call
brand
him
new.
and talk to him, he'd help you work out, tell you where to find stuff or help you find stuff. I was looking for a spinner for the front of a stunt wagon 60. and I wanted a Froome. Everybody else was going plastic and everything else. I wanted a Froome. I had the right wheels. I wanted a Froome spinner. John Brodak sent me a bunch of spinners, and Riley Wooten sent me a spinner. And the spinner on the front of my red, white, and black Stunt Wagon 60 came from Riley. But
Very
he sent me the
nice.
spinner, and I tried to tell him. I wrote him and I called him and told him it works. It's on there, and I send you a picture. So I sent him a 8x10 glossy of me holding the plane. He wrote back, says, I don't know about the old guy holding the plane, but it's a beautiful airplane. I said, well, how much do I owe you for the spinner? And he says, you put it to use. It's been in my drawer for 20 years. Oh, yeah,
Very
that was
nice.
Riley. It was
Very
just Riley.
nice.
He was a character. Brodak did the same thing, by the way. He sent me, I think, 3 spinners. And he said, one you can use and send me the other 2 back. And I sent 2 of them back and put the other one on another stunt wagon. It wasn't my airplane, but it did go on a stunt wagon. And they're just 2 great guys. We're losing some really good people.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really unfortunate. It really is.
And
Yeah.
Howard's trying to make me jealous. He's showing he's in his shop, and it's just, he's got a gorgeous shop.
Hey, Brad, you trying to say something, Brad? What'd you say?
Yeah, I'm heading out. See you later.
Hey, thanks for coming in, Brad. Appreciate
See
it.
you, Brad.
Take care, Brad. I'm gonna have to head out here in a minute myself, but anyway.
No, we're going to end the live stream portion in 14 minutes. We're
Yeah.
almost done. And this has been a really good watched show. I know that this might sound pretty lame, but our average viewership is 30 minutes. And, with today's people attention span, that's speaking pretty good. 30 minutes. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good for old folks and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I got an
especially-
idea for you. If you come
Yeah, what's
back
that?
on here, your contest is in August. If you come back on here late July or 1st of August and remind everybody, I've got
yeah.
family up that way. I'll plan on heading that way. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in my calendar, but
that'd
come
be
back
great.
on, remind everybody. There's
Yeah,
a lot
definitely
of
come
people in
back
this
for
area.
sure. But
Yeah.
make
I've got-
an announcement.
Yeah, I've got some stuff that I can do every once in a while and stuff. But also, are you going to be at Brodak's for the fly-in?
I plan to be.
Yeah.
plan to
Well,
be.
that's an hour and 5 minutes up the road for me.
Oh my
Nice.
goodness.
Oh, you're so lucky.
From West
Wow.
Virginia?
Yep.
Yeah, Carmichael's
How
is
far
pretty
above
far
Beckley
south
are
of
you?
PA.
Oh, okay. How far are you from Beckley?
Beckley is way down south, so we're about 2.5 hours north.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
That's about a 6.5 hour drive then. Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
we can do that.
Very nice. Did I
Yeah.
say that Brent Williams said howdy? Because Brent Williams is in the audience. Hey, Brent, thanks for tuning in.
Hey,
Brent,
Brent.
if you're listening, I told you something wrong the other night. I told you it had the Nobler had a Brodak ESC in it. It's I got thinking something was wrong. It's a Castle Creations.
All righty. I'm sure you heard that.
Yeah. I was trying to find his email and send it to him. My phone updated last night. I don't know about y'all, but when my Apple updates, it's about 2 days before I can make a phone call on it.
Yeah, that's no good. And when my computer, not this show, but the last show, when I rebooted it, it started to do an update, and I was like freaking out. This is like 5 minutes before the show, and I'm like, oh no, what am I gonna do?
I know what you mean.
So here's Al's going to demonstrate what, a bladder or a
Well,
pacifier.
this is what the modern guys use today.
Yeah.
So that's, blows out. I'm just putting air in it. So that's that. And then here's the Gerber pacifiers.
All right.
Gerber.
Yeah.
You don't like Gerber? What'd you use, Howard?
Binkies.
Binkies.
Oh, yeah, well, you can't get those no more, but these work good. See, it's a Gerber. But
very cool.
And works
What
better.
size, what size syringe are you using?
What's that? This is only 2 ounces.
Okay.
See,
Oh, that'll work. Yeah.
you fill it up. Oh, it definitely works. That's only, so.
Oh, that's very cool.
I don't know, Al, you combat guys are weird.
And then if you,
Yeah.
I rest my case.
You know, I was telling you, my bladders put out 35 pounds. A
Oh, my
special
word.
syringe with a two-way check valve. So when you pushed it in and let off, it would stop it from pushing the syringe back out again.
Yeah.
And so we could just about pit everybody on the field. They started with a gallon can, because every time you pumped it, you got another ounce and a half charge in it.
Oh, that is a neat idea, Gordon, because when Carl flies with me and he's flying his combat plane, he basically pulls back on his syringe to prevent what you're talking about. But if you had a check valve, you would have to do that.
Well, if you got, wait a minute, I don't understand this check valve. If you check it going in, how do you get it to come back out to the motor?
Well, one goes one way, and then when you push on it, it forces the fuel through another check valve. That check valve stops the bladder in your airplane from filling up the syringe again.
Oh, okay, I understand that, but now how do you feed off of that to the? Well, you just need another, just need a T connect. Oh, okay, I got you.
The check valve was on the syringe side. That's right, Gordon. The check valve was on the
So
syringe.
you just
tube.
sit and do this nonsense.
Yes. It's
Oh,
also
cool.
got a filter, and the part I'm using was off a airplane, and the casting dates on these are 1928.
Oh my goodness.
And they're prime. You used to prime the airplane, the radial engines with them.
Yeah.
Well, I'd take that part off and made an adapter to solder, and then it fits my syringe.
That's pretty neat.
So it had two check valves, one with the large 3/16 intake and a 1/8 outlet. So it was
Yeah.
fit on our fuel lines, and I made
Yeah.
one for Phil Granderson, and he said it was too big, but you sit there and watch them. They have 4 syringes there, and they got to fill it, put a clothespin on, take it off, grab another one, and I'm going, so it's a little bit heavier. I could pit several airplanes while they're trying to fill one bladder.
Yeah.
That is pretty neat.
The reason why we use the 2 ounce instead of a 5 ounce syringe.
Yep.
This is easier to push.
Right. Yeah.
You fill it up faster. 5 ounce, it's really hard to push the fuel in.
Yes.
Fill a bladder. So that's why we use.
Where do you guys?
Those with my high pressure bladders, and Jim Womack puts it on his tummy and took both hands to get it inflated. And when he got it filled up, we just had water in him. Time he got his fingers down there to hold it, he couldn't hold it because it just sit there and push it right back. So my syringe is only 1.5 inches in diameter.
So you see, I use silicone tubing.
Yep.
Because a lot of guys use neoprene, but at least you can hold this for a little bit.
Right.
Neoprene you can't. It's too strong. But I have like a cotter pin that I put on these that it stays on the bladder the whole time it flies.
Yeah, I've got some of those.
I shut it off. Keep the shut off there. So when I put once I put 2 ounces in, I shut it off, and then put the next one on, open it up, fill it up, shut it off.
Yep.
What do you guys do? Did you go to medical school or something?
No,
I
we're
go to-
IV drug users.
I try to go to a hobby shop, and you guys are, I don't know, HMO, I guess.
I'm gonna run down and bring my syringe up so you can take a quick peek at it.
All right.
Howard has a supply.
Go ahead, Howard.
We didn't use the check valves because you don't get a feel of the bladder that way.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Charles.
Yeah, Mark.
You need to vouch for me. I mean, there may be some guys watching that are wondering what the president of Pampa is doing when this whole thing has become combat. If you put in a good word for me, I'd appreciate it.
Right. Well, we have combat and RC and control line stunt here. And
All right.
You need to
Yeah.
get a carrier guy.
we've had a carrier guy, Bart. What is Bart's last name?
Bart who?
Um, he used to fly. He flies combat scale stunt. I mean, but now he's just doing a couple events.
Keith is quite an aircraft
I'm trying to think what Bart's name
carrier
is.
flyer.
Bart who?
I'm trying to remember. Let me see if he's in my phone book. Let me see.
Bart
Bart
Um,
Simpson.
I might.
Did Bart Simpson?
No. Here, Bart.
Oh,
Let's see if
for
he's in my
heaven's sakes.
phone.
God, I'm having one of those senior moments she's talking about.
No, it's not Kaplinski. It's another
Keith.
Bart. I can't think of Bart. His first name is Bart. But
Keith is
very,
quite a
very prolific flyer. I mean, he travels a lot, flies a lot of different events, but he's slowed down. He's only doing a few events now.
Keith Trossel is quite a Navy carrier flyer. He's the one that designed the Bearcat that I'm building, and he showed me that thing in 1974, and I fell in love with it. And he was flying it then, and also flew it in a scale event and won. I think he won with it. Wouldn't surprise me if he won with it. Keith was winning everything back then.
Okay, I'm back.
I can't remember Bart's last name. I know who you're talking about, and I can't think of his last name.
I don't have him in any of my phone books. I think he's in a notepad from a contest because last time I
Bob
saw him
Gore's
was
got a
at,
motor out there.
what was that, Mark?
Bob Gore's holding
Oh, hey Bob, let me make
Hey.
it big.
the engine up.
I thought maybe I'd like to see this one.
Yeah.
Oh wow, the coffin case.
What's
Yeah.
that, Mark III?
The little tap on this area there.
Yeah.
Fox told me to put a thread in there, and that's how I pressurized my fuel tank.
Oh.
And I had this on a sneaker, and we timed it with a 9/8 prop, and we timed it 120 miles an hour. And I had three buddies. We thought we were going to start flying combat, so I built this sneaker, and bought this motor and all that stuff. And the time I got it in the air, they didn't want anything to do with it. And we did our combat stuff with flight streaks.
Okay.
That looks like a Mark
I
III.
never saw that before. Show me the
That's-
pressure tap again. It was always
What's
in the
that?
backplate.
Oh, the pressure tap?
Yeah.
A little bit higher.
Wow. Yeah, that's the first time I ever saw that. And that's where they told you to put it.
And it worked well. I just had I didn't know anything about bladders, any of that stuff. And I
Yeah.
put a regular old,
Yeah, 'cause
metal tank in there and pressurized it. And it was scary to start it. I mean, it just exploded, when it took off.
That's
So we had a little trouble
the only,
getting it launched. I had a little trouble launching it because I think the plane would accelerate so quick on a launch that the line couldn't keep up for a bit. And
Yeah.
sometimes the airplane would come across the field at, I'd catch it on the other side.
they're really
It was
strong
an adventure.
engines.
Pardon?
They're very strong, very, fast engines.
those were the good ones, the Mark III Combat Special.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Mark IV strong.
Mark IV is no good.
It's I don't know if you can read that. Yeah.
Oh, Fox
it's,
Combat
Fox-
Special.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what's on the box.
Yeah. Cool.
Anyhow, I thought you might get a kick out of
Yeah,
seeing that.
No,
that's
thanks for
very,
telling me
that's
that.
interesting.
I learned something.
Yeah, the Mark III's were pretty accurately made, but the Mark IVs, he outsourced some parts and he'd tighten down the head screws and they'd bind almost.
Mhm.
What do you got
without
there, Bob? What is that?
That's a sneaker.
This is a
That's your
sneaker that I
sneaker.
had it on, and I redid it here a couple of years ago, and just to fly it, I put a Fox Stun on it. I didn't want to do it for 20 miles.
That
But
looks
anyway.
cool. That looks nice. I don't think I've ever seen a sneaker. That's pretty cool.
That's
I
cool.
wish I could get a better view for you here.
That
Yeah,
looks good.
No, it looks good.
That
I
looks
like
good.
it. I like the graphics.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that would look real nice in the air when you're flying. That would really show up really well.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Hmm.
very nice.
Let me look.
Absolutely.
That was my combat experience right there with this one.
You can get top dollar for that engine. Not for me.
Well, Charles, I brought my syringe up to show you guys.
Okay, cool. Let me make it big.
If you can see it or not.
Let me make it big. Hang on one second. Alrighty.
You're big.
Can you make it? Can you raise it up for us, Gordon?
Is that high enough? Oh, there we go.
Oh, boy.
The
Whoa,
cast
what is-
date on that is 1928.
What is this? Look at that.
Just made this adapter here and sweat soldered it to the nozzle on the syringe. And it's got a filter inside here, the size of that diameter.
Right.
This end goes to your 1 gallon gas can. And then this is the part that goes in your 1/8 inch tubing.
Wow.
Hmm.
That looks like something vintage.
And all you do is just start pumping it, and every time you pull it out, it holds the fuel in there with no pressure. And you can push it in, let go of it, and it fills your bladder up. And here's
Like a bicycle pump.
these are the bladders that I used. These put out 35 pounds of pressure.
Wow.
This here has modified OS Max 35 that Mark Fichtner hopped up for me. And most of the Super Tigers are about 8 to 10 miles an hour slower than this motor.
Wow, that is amazing.
It's really a hot rod. Even today, I let Paige Peterson fly it. Now,
Now, is that the steel case OS Max 35?
Pardon?
Is that steel, is it part steel, the case of that 35?
No, this is aluminum.
Oh, aluminum, okay.
You're
And
talking about the cylinder?
he's changed the piston liner, and now it's got aluminum piston with a ring.
Oh,
And this is the twister that, if you remember, the twister is really a small airplane. And I built 3 of them, and the third one that, I'm going to add, so I added 1 full rib bay to each side and pushed it to a 43-inch wingspan.
the super twister?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, this was 2 or 3 miles an hour faster than the small ones and turned a whole lot better. This one is pretty exciting. It runs about 115. But back in the early 70s, that was a pretty good hot rod.
Yeah.
So,
And which OS is that?
what's that?
What model OS engine?
Well, the model was a OS Max Combat Special 35.
Okay, okay.
Mark pulled it
That
out.
is a snarl ported one, or is that like a baffled piston?
It's a baffled piston with a ring.
Okay, oh, with a ring, okay. Yeah, I have the one downstairs I have one that, it's just no ring, just I guess a steel piston.
Yeah, he made 2 of them for me.
Yeah.
I found a piston liner and ring set of the 40, which is the same bore was the 35, and it had a longer stroke. So that was a direct slide in. And he jacked the exhaust timing and did his stuff to it. The other one was a modern piston liner, which was too big a bore to keep it legal. So he de-stroked the crankshaft. Well, that ran really good too, except it broke the pin off because he had to offset the pin on the crank.
Okay.
Broke the crankshaft.
Oh, it's too bad.
So, but anyway, engineer also broke a crank, and Todd Lee saw it in my drawer when he was visiting with me. And about a month later, one shows up in the mail from Todd Lee. Says, it looks like it could need another OS Combat Special. So I stole the crank out of it machined new bushing for the crank and then put it in this motor that Mark hooked up. It really hauls. Even today, I doubt if I can keep up with it now. And then I have a Challenger that with the TWA, they had a speed limit contest up in Eugene one year, Washington. And it was top dog at 132 miles an hour on one of my Challengers. That was, I think he was running the TWA that Glenn Dye built, and he's running 6% nitro in it. So that was a handful.
Very nice.
So
Yeah, I heard about the TWAs, but never saw one.
say what?
I never saw a never saw a TWA. That was a K&B engine, right?
Well, actually, it was Theobald Wisniewski. And Glenn bought the dies and the patterns for making them, and then he started making the combat special. It was a 36.
Okay.
And when he moved here, he wanted me to put it on one of my Challengers. And I could not believe how much faster it was than the motors I was running.
But that was based off the K&Bs, though. I think that engine.
Well, the crankcase wasn't. The crankcase was based off of Theobald Wisniewski's 29.
Okay.
So the castings were different, but he did use the Camby 35 front end that bolted on.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just what people are telling me. I never saw one.
Yeah.
That's
Anyway, the Camby front end didn't hold up. If you went over 20% nitro, it'd break the crankshafts on them.
Do you still have that engine?
I have one TWA, but it's a rear rotor 29.
Oh, okay.
I got mad one day at a contest because it kept breaking crankshafts. And as long as the crank didn't break, they were fast.
Yeah.
Easy to handle, easy to needle. And I don't know, I just had, that's enough. And I went over to, I think Pete Athens. And he's, you want to sell that? And I says, I have two. How much is the new Fox Combat Special Mark IV? $100. I said, give me $200 or yours.
Yeah.
And I went to Fox after that.
I was running the Mark Sixes, trying the Mark Sixes, and I broke 6 cranks, and every one of them broke the crank pin off.
Really?
Yep. The Mark Sixes. So then I went to the Mark 7 and never had a problem.
Yeah, Mark IV's, Glenn modified the liners and chromed them. Strip the chrome off and re-chrome them. And the fit on them is incredible.
I'll get you my Mark 6 crankshaft collection.
I got to see this. But we are going to be ending the live stream very shortly, and I want to catch up on the chat box. Brent Williams, I think he's referring to you, Howard. He says, I see something, Howard. Zap.
Showed it to him. I can show you a broken crankshaft collection, probably.
Okay.
That's not a broken crankshaft there, and it's broken.
Broken crankcase.
Broken crankcase. Oh, this is a new one. My God, look at that.
There you go.
Yet to break.
Yet to break, yeah. Not enough nitro.
There's a broken crankshaft. Yeah.
Wow. Howard, you've been holding out on us. Jim Womack had built 2 Nemesis, and we was trying out our super tigers, and I had one that for some reason was a lot faster. So we put it in his Nemesis.
That was correct.
He seized the bearing up and it ripped the motor right out of the airplane, went flying out in the middle of an intersection.
Oh man.
That ain't good.
After that, all our super tigers, we'd pull them down and put a good rear bearing in there because the bronze cage would come apart.
Wow, look at all those broken crankshafts. I only have one broken crankshaft. That's out of a Stalker 81.
Howard,
Yeah,
how much nitro was you running?
40.
Oh, see, we only run 20.
It could be probably part of the problem.
Yeah, I think so.
There's this one's cracked.
Wow, that's amazing.
You could have kept Super Tiger in business just with crankshafts.
Yeah. Then there's
Wow.
That's amazing, Howard. Wow. Wow.
I've got a couple nice Super Tigers, but I don't think I'm going to run 40% after seeing that.
you got to change the rear bearing too. It won't take that. It's,
Wow, Howard, that's something else. That's amazing.
I've flown some combat.
Yes, you have. Just when you think you've seen it all, you haven't. Let me catch up on the chat box, and then we're going to end the live stream portion of the show. John Shukalak, he says, how is the fuel line sealed into the bladder? And I see your crankshafts there, Al. But you can answer that question. How do you seal the
oh wow,
the fuel line into the
here's the
bladder? Well, I've never seen those pins sheared off a crankshaft before.
The neoprene?
There's the pins.
I've never seen it before, those pins being sheared off.
Yeah, the pins. Then I had somebody, I took it to a metal guy. He cut a piece of the off it just to check the hardness of it. I was trying to see if maybe if they heat treated it. And
right.
He tested it and he said no. You know, he said there's nothing I could do to save it. Yeah, but yeah, that one busted off. This wasn't a Mark 6. I forget what this was, like a Mark 4. It broke the end off. This one broke the end off.
That is amazing.
How much nitro was you running?
Just 10%.
Well, we run 40% and haven't had any problems.
Yeah, no, the Mark 6, like I said, would knock the pin off like crazy.
Wow.
You know, when I start turning it up, it wasn't in combat, it was in racing. It was an event we had called Warbird, where you could have a 36 engine and I think 100, like 100 square inch wing. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so it was a profile, and had to shut off when we raced it and stuff. I still have, I have the plane downstairs, but we haven't raced that in 10 years. But it used to be real, real competitive. We used to do it all the time. It was basically like Slow Rat, a little water, like Slow Rat, but it had to run on suction.
Wow. Well, let me, I got one more person I wanted to recognize in the chat box. This is, did you get your answer to how we sealed the fuel line into the bladder? I don't know if we answered that. How do you seal the fuel line in the bladder?
Well, here, the way I do it is,
okay.
Run tubing in and wrap it up.
I don't have it here. I have a double barb inside.
Okay.
It's like a vacuum tube for
right.
Like cars, a vacuum line. We connect them together, and I put that inside the silicone tubing, and then I put one piece of half a bladder over that, and then I put the larger bladder over that, and then use telephone, the old belt telephone wire, and I wrap it. Because I know guys make it they have the little barbs on there. I don't like that because on a lot of occasions, in the heat of the battle, this comes off and then it squirts all over the place. So
Right.
I like making a solid connection. And if it's a half A bladder, I stop at the blue. I just wrap it there. But, making like for fast combat or speed limit, that's what and I used the drip plugs. I used the drip plugs for an end.
You know what
What's the drip plug?
to that? I use a pellet, either a 22 pellet or a 177 pellet, depending on the size of my bladder.
The drip plugs are for irrigation.
Right. I think I have one of those.
And you can break the ends off. I don't have one here handy. I'd have to go. They work well.
Sometime when you find one, show me what you're talking about. Because I've had people tell me that before. I don't know what the heck they're talking about.
Mike might have them handy. Mike, do you have the drip plugs handy?
Yeah, you showed us.
I've only made 2 or 3 of them, and I used a end of a big pin. That's what I had.
Going back to, while he's looking, going back to crankshafts, here was the fix for the Fox crankshaft. This was Norm McFadden, who died last week, and and Rich Brasher had these shafts made. I think they're and they don't break.
Yeah, that's the Brasher crank.
Yep.
Yeah, I heard about that. I heard that I heard about those, but never. That's the first one I saw.
Yeah.
Well,
thank you, Howard. Let me turn to Mike Lonke. He's going to show the how to seal the. I know Mike did this just a couple weeks ago, I think. So appreciate you, Mike.
It's called a goof plug.
Oh,
okay.
They're for irrigation. 1/4 inch goof plug, and they're solid all the way through. So what you do for your barbed end, you drill it out.
Yeah.
Drill a hole in it. That's your barbed end for your fuel line. And then for your cap,
cool.
You cut off the barbed end on your bandsaw. You just take it like that, run it across your bandsaw, maybe hit it on the sander. They come from the same, that's the same part, right?
Okay.
Just one doesn't have the barb on it,
right,
which is your cap on the back. The other has the barb, and you have to drill them out. And then what you end up with is that.
That's pretty slick.
Your barbed end on the end, your fuel line slips over, your cap on the other end.
right.
And I just zip tie 'em, and it works fine. I don't use wire or anything like that. I just zip tie 'em. I might get 1 out of 20. I might get a leaker.
I used to do mine too, but some planes you have to the hole. You got to make a bigger hole to get it inside.
And I just take my Dremel with the sanding barrel on it, and I run through every airplane we have because I use zip ties because it's faster. It's faster than wire. So
But I do the same thing as Mike, except on the feed end, I use a double barb vacuum connection line. It's in there.
Yeah.
And this way, this doesn't pull out. So if the bladder gets stuck in there, and you go to pull it out, you won't get squirt in the face.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Hey, Charles.
Very neat, guys.
Yeah, Carl.
Yeah, I basically the same thing, except I buy the it's like a coupling that they use for let's see where I'm at here. Anyway, it's the same thing that Mike had, except it's just a coupling where you don't have to drill anything out. You just slide it in the end of your tube and then seal it up however you want to, and then it's all ready to go to put a fuel line on it. And then the butt plug, Mike uses a bandsaw, but I just use a pair of dikes. They cut the one end off with the butt plug.
I don't want to hear about your butt plug, Carl.
And then another way I do it is there's my camera. Is I get these fuel connectors at the hobby shop where I use those for the fuel line. So you don't have to make the hole bigger in your tube. And then for the fuel tubing, I go down and buy the tubing that you use for wrist rockets. I just that's what I make my bladders out of. So
Thank you, Carl. Appreciate that.
yeah.
Hey, Carl.
You.
Now this is another type of fitting. It's a barbed end and it's 1/4 inch, and these are nice. You don't have to drill them because they're already made up. But I have not been able to find these in years. Phil Cartier used to sell these.
Yeah.
And I don't know who originally made them, but they're nice because they got a barbed end on one side, they're 1/4 inch on the other side with a nice little lip.
Yeah.
So when you tie it off, they go. And I only have about 6 or 8 of these.
Yeah.
But the ones I just showed you that you can drill yourself, I just got 300 of them on Amazon for like $9 or something.
Yeah.
With free
Well,
shipping.
Well, the
lifetime supply.
Yeah, the black fittings I showed you is for irrigation, and I buy them at Home Depot. So
I haven't been able to find them at my Home Depot. Not with
really? With
No.
with like a coupling with the double barbs on the end?
No, my Home Depots here stopped carrying irrigation stuff a couple of years ago. They don't carry it anymore.
Try the Tractor Supply.
Okay.
Try Tractor Supply. They carry a lot of irrigation stuff. I haven't seen those, but I didn't know to look for those. So I'll give it a try.
All right. Hey, you guys, thank you very much. I'm going to end with a last comment from Rick Wallace. He says, good show tonight. And thank you very much for watching and listening. Appreciate it. And our average viewership is 36 minutes, almost 37 minutes. Thank you very much, gentlemen. So well, on that note, I'm going to end, but I also want to acknowledge making model airplanes. Thank you very much for your super chat. Appreciate it. And hope you have a chance to go flying or work on your shop and come back Friday. And wish everybody fair winds and tight lines. Until then, see ya.